Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some double header action for you. We have Ball State versus UBuffalo. We have Ball State versus WMU. I am Lucas, aka iLucky.
I am Raymond, also known as Ada.
And I'm super excited to get into this. We have two matches for you guys tonight, two Overwatch matches. I don't think I mentioned it was an Overwatch stream. It is indeed an Overwatch stream. And it's just going to be a great time. We have to go against UBuffalo and WMU, which are two competitive teams in the ESC. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, me too.
So we can take a look at some of things that are also happening tonight across the ESC. As you can see here, we have Ball State versus UBuffalo, which is what's being covered here. U Toledo versus WMU as well. So that match happens first, and then WMU will play us after that. We have Akron versus Bowling Green. We have Eastern Michigan on a bye. Ohio versus CMU. I believe there's Northeastern versus Miami. That's going to be a good match. Both of those teams, I believe that's the second and third best team in the league, so that'll be very interesting to see. And then we have Kent State versus why do I not know what that logo is?
Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois, gotcha. So NIU Esports over there. So that's what's happening across the ESC. But once again, today we have Ball State versus UBuffalo to start it off. And I don't know too much about the roster, but I'm expecting a good match.
Yeah, I believe they're somewhere towards the middle to lower end of the standings, but
yeah,
I believe in them.
we gotta hold out hope for the underdogs always. And we can also then take a look at the Ball State roster as well. We have our main main 8, and one of them is actually right here. So why don't you go and explain what you got there?
Yeah, so over there, third from the left, you got the best player on the team. Other than that, you got
goes crazy.
Droid on tank, Ghost on DPS, Bordy1 on DPS. Everyone else plays support on the team, so they need no introduction, but
yeah, just no love for the support players, I guess.
Yeah,
as we are both support players in ourselves. But yeah, we can also take a look at the UBuffalo roster, and then right after we get to take a look at the WMU roster. We have so many rosters to look at today. Okay, yeah, I recognize these names: Apollo, Dow, JCV, Stealth, Volter, Corti, Patient Zero, Clickies, and Lord the Van? Lord
Ethan.
Oh, Lord Ethan, sure.
I guess. Lord the Ethan.
This is always my favorite part of the show because we get to look at the crazy usernames that people have. I think some of them are really interesting and unique, and yet Lord Ethan is definitely one I've never seen before. It might be Lord the Van.
It could be.
It could be Lord the Van.
There is some overlapping letters there, to say the least.
Yeah, it looks like it could be like 5 different things. We can also take a look at that WMU roster. The Western Michigan University Broncos are Vexa Arcane. Somebody plays a little too much League of Legends. Iankva 458, maybe Ian CV 458, Prime Evil, The Real Oboe, Tycho, and Jaidzul. So once again, love the names. Arcane's going to be a really fun one to say. I'm a pretty big Arcane fan.
I like The Real Oboe.
Anyway, you like The Real Oboe?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think the OBO stands for?
I was thinking of the instrument. But,
no, there's an E in that.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe it's like
OBO. The real outstanding boy of Overwatch.
Yeah, maybe he's like a Drake fan, just without the V. OVO.
I don't get the Drake reference.
My bad.
Vobo?
No, he has, like, his brand is OVO.
Oh. Why do I not know that? I guess
I don't know.
I might live under a rock.
I am the Canadian on the stream, so.
And then we get to talk about what happened yesterday. So you were actually there to cast that. So what happened yesterday?
It was a pretty good game yesterday. What's it called? Who did we even play? Sorry, my mind is blanking.
Was it
Ohio? That's
yes.
who it was. Yeah, they're definitely one of the higher teams in the league. But I mean, it was a pretty solid 3-0 from the squad. We had a lot of good plays. Even though the heart and soul of the team, aka myself, wasn't there, they were able to pull through. And Bordy's giving me some interesting looks.
I mean, that's just Bordy for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just join the team. I don't know, look, they're all waiting for you. They're in that TXCXX, and they're like, where's Bordy? Where is our Bordy at? I don't know. Where's my Genji player?
That's true.
Anyways, favorite moment of the season. My favorite is Numbani third point. We're on defense against Miami. It is looking grim. It looks like Miami's about to full cap us on Numbani. And all of a sudden, it's like, I think a 2v3. It's a crazy fight. Nades are exchanged, and it's like a 2v3 we're losing. All of a sudden, Droid on Ramontra uses his Annihilation, finds a massive 3K.
Yeah.
A Tracer blinks on to touch the last moment. Droid's able to finish it off. Just a super hype moment of the season. Also, being against a team as strong as Miami, it was crazy to watch. It was super fun to cast, and that has to be my favorite moment of the season.
Yeah, I think my favorite, out of recent memory at least, seeing Bordy get a 4K yesterday was pretty fun on stream. But in terms of as a team, my favorite was definitely just the win over Northeastern.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of the entire series. It felt like everything really came together for us. We went up 2-0 in the series. We had one map loss after that, and then we had a perfect rebound. And it just felt like we were always one step ahead of them. Yeah. So just felt like a really good team win for that one.
And despite that win, the rankings still put you below them for some reason, which makes zero sense.
I think they just have they've completed their games quicker because we had Ohio rescheduled, so they just had more wins in the tally. So that's the only reason they're ahead. But
nice.
Assuming that we win the rest of our matches, then we should be at the top.
Yeah, because we are the only undefeated team currently at the moment, and if we win these next two games, we will have gone undefeated through the entire season. Going into the ESC playoffs completely undefeated would be absolutely amazing. And if you don't know, ESC playoffs kick off April 4th. Not this weekend, but the weekend afterwards. That is a LAN going to be held at Miami. You're going to be there. I will be there casting for the Miami side of things. I'm very excited for it. I will. Yeah, nice. The schedule just got announced, and I'm hoping I can also cast the grand finals alongside Spooky Hand. But that schedule has not come out yet fully. But it's going to be a great time. That'll be streamed on not only Miami OH Esports, but that's also going to be streamed on ESC_conference. And that same weekend, actually CRL is kicking off. We have the CRL Nationals, which our team did qualify for, our Rocket League team qualified for. So great stuff from them. They made the top 8. They're playing huge teams like Maryville, Cumberland, Northwood. So that's happening that same weekend as well. And you guys are going to so many LANs. You guys have the Ibu LAN as well coming up. I know a couple of your players, Alphabet and Droid, have the Apex Legends LAN as well. So there's so many things happening from all sides of our esports. And soon, we want to get you guys an iRacing stream on some Friday night. So look out for that as well. We have so much planned for the month of April to kick off, or to end this semester, I should say.
Yeah, it's getting really hectic. And especially a lot of these games are really high stake. ESC is as excited as we are just to kind of get the experience, go to that LAN. A lot rides on that. If we win that, we get to go to CECC in Texas. So that's probably going to be one of our best odds in order to qualify. We have a couple other tournaments we're in to try to, but a lot is riding on these tournaments, and a lot of prep is going to go into it.
You guys get to stay at Bordy's house.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling him. He's like, yeah,
you gotta host us, bro.
Yeah, where are we gonna stay? I'm like, dude, we're going to your house, everyone.
It's just like when we go to the Miami LAN. It's like, if I actually live 20 minutes away from Miami, so I can host one person in my guest bedroom. That's all we have room for. But no, you guys already have houses for all the teams, which that'll be fun environments. I'll definitely be making sure to drive on over because I think you guys are closer to my house than Miami itself is. So I'm very, very excited for that upcoming weekend. But enough about that. It's time for my favorite part of the stream. Time for the Wordle. Which I remember last night, I felt a little bit bad when I kind of just told you the answer. But you guys only had one life left.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, we got all the way to the very end. We had some good guesses along the way. We just had
Missed
no idea.
angle.
Yeah, angle.
You just couldn't get it from the right angle.
Yeah.
You had to look at it differently.
Which is kind of shocking because I feel like 90% of what I tell my team is play your angles, do this on your angle. But
be on the off angle, Nick. Ghost, where is your off angle? No, Spencer, you play the off angle with Bordy. You don't just shoot from main. Like what?
Yeah, like sometimes the off angle is like an entity. It's Bordy and Yake, and I just refer to them as that alone.
All right. Well, I always let my co-casters start off with the word. What you looking for today?
Let's roll with Ghost.
Ghost. I like that actually.
Quick on the keys.
Okay.
Ooh.
Got the H. Nice.
H and an S.
Oh, we don't see the letters. Oh, that's gonna be awkward actually.
Oh. Interesting.
Let's
we have a good memory.
Try. I'm thinking SH something. SHE. Wait, SHEA.
Shame.
Let's try shed. SHEAD. I think that's a word. Is that
like shade? What did you say?
Oh,
shed?
yeah, shade. Yeah, I like shade. 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 Let's try shade. Are we getting a? Can Prod hear me? My guess is shade. Making sure everything is working. There we go. Cool.
Oh, there you go. The Wordle works properly too.
Oh.
Shade. Okay, so E not at the end. No, not short.
It could be Shrek.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a real word though. Oh, it could be shrew though. SHREW. It could
I'm
be
down for that.
shrew.
Yeah.
That'd be a very weird word for it to be though. Yeah, let's try it. No.
Okay, so E is in the middle.
Yes.
Shelf.
Shelf is a good guess. I like this. It's a nice common word. Yeah, let's lock that in. Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Ada.
That was easy.
Nice. That's payback for yesterday.
Yeah.
And then we have the connections as well, which the connections is always hit or miss with me. It's either like it goes perfectly, everything flows, boom, 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 or it's just I'm looking at it for 10 straight minutes and nothing.
All right, let's see what we get.
Bale Crystal, Panda Mud, Teddy Tuxedo, Able Day, Able, Cal, Able. Okay, surely they're just trolling with this. Able, Abel, and Abe. And Bela. What is this?
Yeah,
and
wait.
Bale.
That's
what? Okay, well.
I feel like Abel, Bale, Abel, and Bella.
Yeah, the words that are anagrams of the word Able. Yeah, so let's do Bale, Able, and Bela.
Yeah.
If this isn't right, I'm gonna be so mad.
I know.
Okay, cool. Anagram. Nice.
Okay.
Crystal. Cow. Cow like California? Cow like calorie? I mean, 3-letter words, but that's probably not it. Crosswords seems really out of place. Panda bear.
Oh, Panda and Oreo, Tuxedo. Those three are together.
Oh, and crossword. They're all black and white.
Yes.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
So Tuxedo, Panda, Oreo, and crossword all black and white. Nice. Good find.
Boom.
Cool.
All right. I'm almost inclined to say yes to the Cal, Day, Abe, and Mud. Like, what if they almost feel like they'd be like prefixes to something?
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of guesses.
Yeah, we can try it. Yeah, let's lock that in. Oh.
Dang.
All good. I think that's a good guess because it looks like prefix or suffix or something weird like that. That happens a lot. Crystal and a Bell both are like spark, like they have very like high sounds.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, I don't know where else that would get me. Oh wait, Teddy, Abe, Dick, those are names. Cal, is Cal a name?
Yeah.
Let's try Cal.
Lock that in.
Oh, wait, like nicknames of presidents, right? Abe, Teddy. Yeah, let's try that. Can lock that in. Nice.
U.S.
Cool.
presidential nicknames.
And
nice.
then let's try to guess what this is.
This is
A Bell Day Mud Crystal.
Like, I would almost think like shiny, but then mud, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Day and Mud seems, they all seem out of place. None of, wow. I don't know. Let's take a look. What do we got? What's the purple? The hardest one. It is clear as clear as a
mud.
bell?
Clear as a, I've never heard
No, I've never heard clear as a bell. No.
That one's interesting to say the least, but
we're getting trolled by connections once again, just as it happens so often.
And we got some Overwatch gameplay in the background.
What'd you say?
We got some Overwatch gameplay in the background.
Yes, that's my teammate Kelton right there. We're on. Let me see if I can look what we are on. Oh, his shoulder's covering everything. I see him getting hit by Farah. Oh, he's on Eladi. Wow, I could barely see the spin. Yeah, there's him throwing his pylon. Eladi's a very fun character.
Yeah.
Very not playable. And
Yeah.
then the perks came out, and like, okay, she's kind of playable now in the
Yeah.
right comp.
But I mean, she's still like, you kind of need to play around her like really heavily if you do kind of want to try and get value out of her. But I mean, not the worst character. Like, you just kind of also need an Alari player that is like really good, because she provides nothing except for
the
her
hit
gun.
Yeah,
really.
you have to be hitting your shots. Yeah, because Eladi in a brawl comp will never work.
Yeah.
It just too much healing that she just doesn't have an output for. Eladi and dive comp really won't work. She has her outburst, which can help her get away from dives, but I mean, she's providing nothing to the dive.
Yeah.
So it's really only heavy poke.
I've seen some where she's like able, like some teams played like Ana Alari, and like they use the boop on her, like
to protect the Ana.
Yeah.
Like almost as a pseudo break.
Exactly. Like they did stuff like that, and sometimes they would just play really stupid aggressive with it too. But it's a very difficult play style, because again, you just need that player that is just able to kind of headshot everyone and just win the game like that.
Yeah. But I think her perks made her stronger, definitely. I think she definitely got better perks than Kiriko, in my opinion at least. Because Kiriko's perks face value seem pretty good, but there's not too many uses for them. And at least like Alari's major perk of the outburst doing burn damage, I think is very strong.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just Kiriko, when you get the major perks for the TP, it's so
that's true.
It's so good, because like
that is very true.
It's already annoying enough to like have to try and kill a Kiriko where you commit everything towards her, and then she TPs away, and then then you kind of have that moment where you're like,
oh, no TP.
Yeah, you can run on her, but then all of a sudden that's taken away, and then you just can't do anything again. Yeah.
And then what's really underrated is, of course, you have the one where she sends Afuda's quicker to critical players, but
good.
Fortune Teller, I'm picking Fortune Teller in most of my games right now.
Is that the one where
That's the one where it throws two Afudas every kunai hit. I think that's very strong.
Yeah, both of them are good. I think it kind of depends. Like, it depends on the situation, because especially if you're playing it in a bit of a brawlier matchup where you're able to kind of just shoot their tank consistently, then that'll just help your healing output a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're playing something where maybe you're not really where you're trying to like land more for just like high value shots rather than just like constantly spamming, maybe you're not going to always have someone that can benefit from the healing right in front of you. The like quicker healing might be good, especially if you're playing like far away from your team, just because it'll kind of make it easier to keep up things, like if you're appealing for your other support or something like that.
It's crazy that at max efficiency, you're hitting every kunai heal. You get a 40% buff in healing with the Fortune Teller if you hit every kunai, which is actually pretty massive, especially if you're playing a super heavy brawl comp. Like, if you're playing Ram on Ram, for example, and you're able, like, shields are down, right? Both shield cooldowns have been exchanged, and you have that Fortune Teller where you can heal your Ram 40% more effectively. It now matches the level of a Juno, while you still have 120 damage output.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like with Kiri, like she obviously has very strong healing, but she struggles from the fact that she has pretty much no AoE healing other than her Suzu. But typically, you're not really using that as a healing ability.
Exactly.
So it does give her just the ability to keep up her team a little bit better. So again, like especially in those brawl comps, usually she's phased out for things like the Juno or the BAP a lot of the time. But now, especially with that perk, it kind of supplements her a little bit. Plus, she just has the best survivability out of those support characters typically. So very strong choice, especially when you're into things like a team's trying to play dive into you.
Yeah, Kiriko by far is the most versatile. Definitely the most versatile support in the game. Maybe even the most versatile hero in the game, because she can be played in nearly every comp. I can't think of a comp off the top of my head. You're obviously a lot more experienced than me, where she can't fit in some way. But not only do her perks allow her to play around with it, like you have Fortune Teller that can help her in brawl comps, but her TP and her Suzu, and the fact that she has very high healing output, not as high as on a BAP or a Juno, but her damage output is really crazy. So she's just so flexible and versatile.
Yeah, and she just makes for like some fun comps too. Like you'll see us play it. We play like Ana Kiri, play Juno Kiri, where
the double flexes.
Yeah, instead of having the Lucio kind of take the angles and try and go on people, you just have Spencer on the Kiri instead, and then he's just dueling everyone. So
my favorite comm by far. I was sitting behind you guys watching you play. My favorite comm ever is Spencer going, "I'm getting creative here."
Yeah, no, like
I love it.
Yeah, especially like when you have a lot of trust in your teammates and then you hear something like that, like something that we say a lot too is just, "Hey, you see me here?" When someone's just like crouched in like a hiding spot behind the other team, they'll just say, "Hey, you see me?" And everyone says, they wait a second, they're trying to find them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're down," and then everyone's immediately on page.
Yeah,
and
then you 3,
just
2
go
on
with it. Yeah, like sometimes it's like Jack will be like, "Yeah, do you guys see me?" We're like, "Jack, get out of there!" Like
I'm touching spawn door, guys. Look at me. Look at this doom tech.
Like people will see that, and then it's just like, "All right, Jack, get on out." They'll throw all the cooldowns into him to make sure he lives, but yeah, it's just
funny.
Like most of the time we'll trust the call. Sometimes it's like, "What are you doing?" Sometimes also like when you get found out early, it's just like, "Oh, they found me," and then everyone's just like, "Oh, well, good luck."
Then the other question I have to ask for you is, I talk a lot with Droid, and he's playing really creative with. He has an alt account where he's Bastion one tricking. And how much have you? Because he's pulling off some impressive gameplays on the Bastion one trick, and he made a really good PowerPoint. He showed me the whole presentation. I said, before you show it to Ghost, you can practice on me. What do you think about that Bastion?
It was really funny because I saw it. He literally had like a whole Google slide. It was like
So
4
funny.
slides, I think. And yeah, the first slide, it's like, "This is why you should play Bastion." Then the next slide is his win rate on the character. And I saw the win rate. I saw it was a 67%. I immediately closed the tab. I was like, "Nope, I'm good." But then like I did read the rest of it. And it was just so funny because the thing is, I didn't even notice it was made by him at the start, because I thought it was just something that he found on like Reddit or like Twitter. But then I looked at the screenshot. I was like, "Wait, that's our team." I was like, "That's crazy." But yeah, it was pretty funny. And we may not be doing Bastion right now, but we were a very strong Bastion team back in the day last year.
Interesting.
Yeah, during Homecoming last year, we played. The meta was like Sigma, Bastion, Mei, sometimes Sim instead of the Mei.
Really?
Yeah, we played like Junker Queen with Bastion and Sim a lot. Like we put Spencer on the Symmetra. Nick was on Bastion, and then it was like with BAP Lucio. So that was a pretty funny comp too. So we did have like pretty much an entire semester of playing Bastion, and we were pretty dominant on it too. It was
Nice.
pretty fun. And Nick definitely liked it. At first, he was like, "Man, like I gotta play Bastion. Like I want to play these other characters where I can like 2-tap them." But I was like, "Dude, trust the process." And then he just became like gross on that character, especially with the grenade. Like,
Yeah, and the minor perk now. Droid is saying it's better than a Kiri TP, which is, I think, but it gets you so many places.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him like taking high grounds on Oasis that I never thought he'd be able to take, and just it sends you so far.
Yeah, I really like just in general how a lot of the perks, like even like Ashe, like they give more mobility to characters, and I think obviously you want to make sure it's somewhat toned down so that it's not everyone's flying everywhere constantly, like you have Spider-Man and Marvel Rivals or something.
Yep.
But it does make it so, like, especially on some maps where there's unaccessible high grounds where some characters can like do better on it. And we do have our first map.
Here we go. We have Lijiang Tower as our first map. This is a very fun point. Of course, you have Gardens, you have Control Center, and you have Night Market. All three maps that are very entertaining to watch. This one is really fun. You'll see the Genji be played a lot here, if I'm not mistaken, just because of the versatility. I'm actually curious what comp you roll out on, if you have any hints for us.
Here probably we'll expect some Ramattra, especially on like the point that we're seeing right now. This one's like pretty good for like brawly stuff, but
And then are we
you
still
never know.
rocking the Juno Lu?
Here and there, sometimes like especially on like maps where we're not really trying to like go hard into the enemy team backline. The Juno, just her healing and everything, this extra speed.
Yep.
Her ult is typically better as well. So in those situations, we also use her, especially if another team is playing something divey, or you'll almost always see Spencer just instantly swap onto the Kiriko at that point. But yep.
Yeah, because we said it earlier, Juno's healing output is really huge, and especially in Ram on Ran comps. But Kiri, the flexibility, if they're playing heavy dive, being able to TP out, being able to live the dive is very strong. Especially if, I assume, you guys are playing Sojourn?
Yeah. I mean, actually, did you know there was a patch today?
I didn't. I knew there was a patch. I didn't see any of it, though.
So the main changes, Mauga got nerfed a lot.
Huge.
His like cardiac overdrive, whatever it's called, doesn't give damage reduction to teammates anymore that are affected by it, which is a really big part, because it used to give like 50% damage reduction, which is huge.
That's wow. Yeah, I didn't know that actually.
And then some smaller nerfs on him too. Zarya got a small nerf. Ana got a pretty big nerf. Her nade cooldown's like 2 seconds longer now.
Really? So it's longer than sleep, or is it the same as sleep?
Probably either the same or... Yeah, I think it's the same now.
Yeah.
Juno got a small nerf. Her ult costs more.
Okay.
Cass got a slight buff. He got his like fall off ranges
Nice.
further now. So
Cass
he
needs
can,
that, yeah.
Yeah, so like... I mean, especially like Cass, his perks are pretty okay too. So not a character that you wouldn't like not see at all, but the Sojourn is still like super strong right now. So more likely than not you'll see that, but we'll see here. Looks like we got Bordy on the Junkrat. We love to see that.
Okay, what are we doing?
Especially that Buffalo comp. I like that. I like what I'm seeing there. We got Roadhog, we got Zen Lucio with the sim is probably for the TP, but with looking at this, you never know.
Don't go on. You don't want to do a 1v1. You don't want that UBuffalo.
Yeah.
Droid has been waiting to play Doomfist.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they're gonna roll out into this map. They're gonna start. Looks like they're gonna start on this comp just with Bordy on probably Genji or Tracer. But the second Droid sees that Doomfist, I know he's gonna want to. All right, yeah, looks like Buffalo's coming out on. Ooh, almost killed him already. On that Doomfist and the Pharah. Oh, looks like lots of aggression coming out here, and already got a kill.
Yeah, Soj trying to slide to safety with his Lucio, but the Lucio is low health and trying to run away as well. Ghost looking for that headshot. It will be JC next to fall on that Doom. Now has full rail, will hit the headshot. on to Freaks, I believe. Yeah, that is indeed Freaks. And Yakester wins the Lucio 1v1 against Volter. And Droid, he did not die, so unfortunately, he cannot switch to that Doomfist.
Yeah, especially looking at these compositions, like Buffalo on that Doomfist, they're gonna want to look for like Spencer and Ghost and try and get those kills. They're on a bit of a divey comp, but Droid especially, it's gonna be so difficult to move him a lot of the time, and he's just gonna stuff that backline. Ghost does go down early here, but here you can see Jack on the backline.
Yeah, the trades will come out, so both Sojourns for each team are dead. It's a great jab, and PC just might die, or sorry, JC just might die for. He does. That his Freaks is completely lost in the back line of Ball State. He will just fall off the map to not stagger himself. Once again, another very quick fight win for Ball State. Yeah, and like even with Ghost going down so early, Buffalo has to expend so many resources just to try and kill him, and then all of Ball State collapses afterwards to avenge their fallen member, and then everything falls apart for Buffalo. Yeah, Apollo taking a lot of poke damage here early fight. Looks like UBuffalo is going to opt to rotate around to White Room. Ghost has that full rail. You always have to be careful. He's playing this off angle, not getting pushed out of it. He is able to land the headshot onto JC before he gets punched to his death. The Kitsune comes out from Ball State. Bordy's able to find the kill onto JC. Droid's looking for a kill of his own. Bordy is trying to not let UBuffalo flip the point. They are doing it to good effect as Volter will fall, Apollo will fall, and Ball State will win another fight, even though Ghost dies first once again. It was actually Yakester dying first this time. Oh, it was, sorry. But yeah, like, it looks like Ball State's trying to take these small splits, but then Buffalo is just like fully collapsing on it, and they're all just trying to kill one person, and it's working for them. But Ball State, we're keeping the composure in the mid fight there. We're not letting ourselves get too afraid. We play with confidence, and oh my goodness, Yakester gets the boop off onto the Doomfist. Incredible. Now we're getting a little bit of Yakester POV. He's trying to boot that Lucio off. Big barrage coming in here, but Jack just has everything to counter it. He still does go down, though. I think that was his first death. Maybe now he can go Doomfist. Bordy with the 2K with the blade. Yakester is able to keep himself alive. Oh, JC's back. Actually hits the Meteor Strike. Gets another kill on a Bordy, but goes alive at full health. He and Yakester, the last ones to live, and he will kill Freaks on the way out, and he will kill Dow on the way out as well. And win the first point, and Volter on the way out. Not an official 4K, but that was pretty good. And win the first point for Ball State, so just complete domination, I can't lie. Yeah, and the thing is, right, like, I mean, Buffalo, they're getting the early picks, but again, like the confidence that even though we're down a member, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna still play as aggressive as we need to. We're gonna, stay together. That was such a sick spear. The timing on that is crazy. But yeah, like looks like Ball State they got some characters, to say the least. I'm not sure what we're gonna roll out on. But Buffalo's straying away from that dive now. They're on the Zarya, and we are going to roll out on a Hog Bastion. These guys are absolutely trolling, but hopefully it'll work out. Droid's getting his way. He's getting that Ghost being played. Wow, takes a heck of a lot of damage. Him and Ghost both taking a lot of damage. That is probably why Spencer is on that BAP. Has a higher healing output than that Kiriko just talked about earlier, but Ghost will fall to Apollo. He got absolutely beamed by that Zard, who has a lot of charge already. Bordy and Yake trying to survive on this off angle, looking for some damage. Dow is able to find the kill on the Droid, and Bordy is just going to look to get out here, and Ball State will lose their first fight of the day. Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be pretty hard for Ghost to get any value here on this Bastion pick, because usually you run him in with things like a Sigma or a Rhine, so he gets a big shield, but you see there, he goes into his form, he gets absolutely no help. It looks like Droid's getting run over here a bit, looking for the hooks. We're trying to cap the point, but Yakester does go down here, but we might get some trades on the front line. Bordy goes down, we do get their Zarya, and here's Ghost running forward on that Bastion pick now. Yeah, he's looking for the shots, just can't find the right angles. It's a 4v3 for UBuffalo, but Droid on the Hog has so much healing and so much uptime that might just be a winnable fight for them. The Apollo is able to use the Kitsune Rush, though. Bordy looking for some pokes on the flank. He's able to get Apollo and Volter to half health, but no kills for being able to finish it off. Freaks and Apollo are able to find kills of their own, and it might just be time for Ball State to switch their comp. Yeah, and I mean, there you see it. It's just... Hog and Bastion individually, not necessarily the worst characters ever, but it's
they just don't synergize very well together. And the big part for now, Ball State, is they have no ultimates almost. They have Bordy on the pulse bomb, but everyone else got nothing. It looks like they're able to scrap a fight win in here through just getting some kills. Wow. Ghost got some picks there early, but UBuffalo is in a pretty good position. They're going to come up on both those DPS ults. They have the beat, almost have the grab, and Yakester is only going to be able to counter one of those things with his beat. And, you know, Bordy's going to have to look to turn the tides with this pulse until everyone else gets their ults back online.
Yeah, UBuffalo might just 3-out Ball State. They'll flip the point, and if Ball State aren't able to get back in time before it hits 100, then they just might be able to make this the last fight. But I doubt that Ball State will just let them go unnoticed. Here it is, the Bubble Dragon Blade, the beat as well. So many ults invested. Can't quite sell. Now Yake has his beat up. Might want to invest that as well, but he doesn't actually have to. He lives the blade somehow.
And the point flips. This is not good for Ball State. This is now the point is going to be ticking down. Looks like they're able to get that exit kill, and Bordy's going to look for some magic with this pulse bomb. Is he going to be able to find anything? There's a lot of resources left for Western Michigan, and he goes down. And then the grab, Yakester's countering it with the beat now. Ghost goes down too. They got no DPS here. This is very winnable. Spencer comes out with the Kitsune. The supports are getting it done. And can they close out this fight? Looks like they're able to, just barely.
Wow.
So great job. All the supports got every single final kill in that fight there, but really close. Bordy going down early there. Nick following. But now Ball State is in that situation that we were talking about earlier, but in the reverse, now they have the ultimate advantage. They have Ramatra, Sojourn, Pulse still, and Buffalo only has this Kitsune to play around, so however much value they get out of that is going to really be the game changer here. And here it comes out, but already a pick goes down.
Yeah, I disagree with this play from UBuffalo. I think that they should have kited the Ball State ults first because they had so many more, and then go back with the Kitsune rush of their own. But they decided to lead with the Kitsune, and they got completely ran over by the annihilation of Droid because that ult is so strong in close circumstances like that. And of course, if you're Kitsune rushing, you're going to be playing in close quarters in your Kitsune. So as soon as he saw that, Droid presses his Q and is able to just completely stop UBuffalo from winning that fight at all. Bordy on this off angle, looking for an early pulse, maybe even looking for the finish. He does force the Suzu out. That is a huge cooldown forced out before the fight even started. And now the Kiri becomes a viable target for a stick as well. It looks like UBuffalo is going to rotate over to this left side of the point. Yakester gets not one, not two, not three. Bordy and Ghost find the kills of their own. The team kill and the map win comes out from Ball State. Bordy pulses himself for the memes, and Ball State will win the first map.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I mean, that is just not the situation you want to put yourself as a team when you're against a player like Yakester. He is always looking for that boop on that side of the map, and he will always get it almost.
I'm curious who got play of the game. We weren't able to
look like it was Spencer.
Spencer got it.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Arkiriko.
Yeah, the supports there, they were definitely clutching out some fights there. The DPS, they may have died early, but you know what, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but every single player on this team is so dangerous. It really doesn't matter the situation. If you know one player isn't really there on having an off day or something like that, everyone else is ready to step up. And we're gonna see some highlights here again. We see Droid on the Orisa, on the Ramatra. This looks like something. Yeah, Spencer and Yakester just cleaning up the fight, getting all the kills there.
Wow,
incredible.
I remember I was queuing the 6v6 last night, the new open queue competitive, and I got the funniest play of the game on Kiriko. It was we were defense first points Pariso, and the enemy team's about to cap. Like they already have 2 ticks, and they're like 5% off of their 3rd tick, and our team just runs on a point. I Kitsu us on, so it like barely hits part of the point, and I'm only looking at my teammates. There's like 2 or 3 teammates in front of me, maybe. I'm running down my Kitsu holding left click, and I'm just hitting lucky headshots, and I'm just hitting stuff. I get like a 3K out of it in play of the game. You can't see anything. All you see is my teammates. And it's just me shooting through my teammates.
Yeah, because
it was
like,
funny.
Especially just the amount of attack speed you get during that ultimate, it's pretty funny. But overall, really strong map. Obviously, they rolled that on that comp. It didn't work well. The Bastion and the Hog just in tandem. We really had no firepower in the middle of the fight when we needed it. But once we did get those swaps out, looked pretty dominant for the most part, especially the ult cycle that we saw there from Ball State. They kept it intact constantly. They were using the right ult at the right time. They didn't use too many when they didn't need to. And then after that, it was pretty hard for Buffalo to really do anything. So
yeah, and we might even see the Doomfist come out next.
Never know. Depends what map. Like King's Row is a really popular one for a lot of people, but
just talking about this map.
Yeah. So this could be a Doomfist map. Might see, like, this is a very divey map. You might see Doomfist, Diva, Winston. So lots of choices. I mean, some teams opt to play things like Sigma even at times. So this is Buffalo's pick, so you never know what they might pull out if they're feeling they did pull out on that Doom. So they might be running something similar here again. But yeah,
guys, this is my Doom map.
Yeah. in the words of a very wise man, it's my Doom map.
You know, he's always gonna be opting for that. I've asked him before. I asked him 3 questions. I said, what did I ask him? I said, who's your favorite tank to play? Who's the most fun tank to play? And who's the most fun tank to play while smurfing? And I think for every single one, he answered Doomfist. Yeah. I mean, that man absolutely loves Doomfist. And I understand. I mean, like, when you're watching him play it, like, he looks like he's having a good time. Just able to just dominate backlines. Doom is able to live for so long with his uptime on his E is insane. And his Meteor Strike, you can essentially just, like a Primal, into the backline, press Q without dying. I mean, it's crazy.
He's very fun to watch, to say the least. Like, unfortunately, there hasn't really been like a very like hard Doom meta where everyone's playing Doomfist, no matter who the team, at all the skill levels. But he's very enjoyable to watch. Like, especially in some like mid-tier tournaments, you'll always just find that one team that they have a Doom one trick, and then it, especially like all of a sudden you're playing the game, and then the next moment you're not. You're in a wall. You don't know where on earth he came from. But yeah,
because he can one-shot combo you from essentially 2 corners away if he has a full charge punch. It is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and just like the angles that he's able to find sometimes. But definitely interested to see what we're rolling out on Bordy Wants skins, and
apparently I don't know what skins he is. Maybe he really wants the less Sephirim bundle.
Yeah,
the Fearless bundle. I mean, it is a good bundle, to be fair. I think they did pretty well with it. Oh, turn them off. Oh, I see. Skins are turned off in the lobby, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was asking for money.
No.
I completely missed that situation. We have a DPS change, actually. So Freaks is now being subbed out for Cavalry. So maybe Freaks is a flex DPS player, and they're putting their hit scan in. Nope, we're back in the lobby. Oh, yeah, Bordy really wanted his skins.
Bordy did really want his skins. Yeah,
okay.
They reset the entire thing just for him.
Wow. I'm making so much fun of him for that.
Yeah.
Wow, he's getting so many words from me tonight.
Yeah. But it did look like Ball State was running out on that double flex support. We had Alphabet in there. Looked like we were starting on Diva, Nick on the Sojourn. It looked like Bordy was maybe going to roll out on the Echo, potentially Genji, something like that. And yeah, it would be interesting. Like, Widow is a pretty common pick to like start on just at the very start there to try and look for a pick. But especially if they do run the Widow, I'd be interested to see if Ghost would want to match that or not. Because she did actually get a buff this patch as well.
What was it?
Small buff to her health. She going from 200 to 225. So
interesting. Okay.
She is a little bit easier to survive. So especially in like the dive comps, that small bit of survivability can do a lot for her overall. So. But Buffalo is on the attack, so more likely than not, it'll just be for one fight where they'll just try and look for a pick. But especially with Ghost being on the Ashe, it'll be hard for him to be able to contest that.
Yeah. In Ashe versus a Widow, both players being equal skill level, the Widow will win probably 95% of the time, you would say. if the players were exactly even on skill. Just because the Widow is obviously able to one-shot. Make sure to do skin checks. Well, we can take a look at some skins. What do we have actually? What skin does Bordy have that he wants us to see so badly?
Also, another thing, if you look at Echo's health bar, she has shields now.
Oh, I did not even
they
notice
reverted
that.
75 of her health into shields. And, you know, we were just talking about that Widow pick, and Spencer goes down. Maybe a little bit of an ego peak there, but Buffalo is going to have to capitalize on this quickly. You already see the Widow swap coming off, and now they're on the Genji, but they're going to look to just try and run over Ball State here. Spencer's going to take at least a bit to get here, but Buffalo going a little bit slow here. Spencer's going to be back real soon.
They have to play this quicker.
Oh,
Spencer,
but Droid is so low, and
okay, that's what they need, yep.
There you go.
So that will be the first point, most likely one for Buffalo. Spencer trying to find some early kunai damage on that Kiriko. Gets one shot by Spicy. Ghost is able to find a trade. It's not enough probably to touch. Droid is close to remech though. This actually isn't completely lost yet for Ball State. If Droid is able to remech, he has 10 time for a touch. Here he goes. He does have the touch. The Winston bubble is being used already. So Ball State, if they can 3-2-1 this perfectly, they just might be able to hold off for a little bit longer. But look at this surround that UBuffalo has in this point. The Soj, the Kiriko on this off angle playing with the Winston. Not much they could do. They just had so much space on that point. Ball State were confined to these two rooms, and Dow will find a headshot on the Droid, will find a kill on the Bordy. Ghost, once again, looking for a trade, gets stove by JC, and that is the first point capped by UBuffalo.
Yeah, and it was close there, especially that is a very difficult point to touch it, because Buffalo's on like the Sojourn, the Genji, the Zenyatta. No one really wants to be on the point there, so they were capping so slow because they only had the Winston there. But yeah, no swaps coming out for either side here. Both teams are going to stick to their guns. Droid is really going to have to try and stay in this mech. He's been picked off really early. I know Spencer was dead pretty early there too, and he was forced to touch point, but if Buffalo is able to continue to exploit this D.Va pick and he's not really able to get anything out of it, it's going to be hard. And Bordy does end up getting a solo kill there onto the Zenyatta. That's pretty clutch. And then we go forward with the Nano onto Droid on the D.Va.
Yeah, so Droid now with the Nano Boost from Alphabet. That charges insanely quickly if you're able to just pump heals into your tank like you usually do on that Ana, playing a safe angle, especially against a dive comp, JC on that Monkey as well. And I do want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, the defense matrix that D.Va has does not stop Monkey's left click, correct?
It does not.
So it's going to be a little bit of a mismatch. It's not as bad as a mismatch as Zarya into D.Va. Wow. Huge melee from Bordy, once again finding a pick early on, but JC is able to find the trade onto Ghost. The Kitsune comes out from Spencer. Droid is able to find the kill onto Voltar, is able to find the kill onto Spicy, and able to save his bomb, or his self-destruct, I should say. So yeah, Ball State once again just finding the kills they need, although Patient Zero on a crazy flank is able to kill Alphabet before Droid can peel off in time. So I guess, what, Patient and JC just dove Alphabet and were able to find the trade at least.
By the looks of it, both teams, like, they have these squishy characters that have to stay in the back line. Ball State has the Ana and the Ashe. Buffalo has the Zen, and looks like a lot of early aggression here again, but forces out the Transcendence too, and Droid does have this bomb here to live. Bob comes out to respond. Bomb comes there, and then Primal is going to come out here as well. Lots of ults being traded here, and Ghost getting booped all the way around, but looks like he's going to be able to survive, and Droid just gets some trades here in the back line. Bordy gets a kill on the other DPS, and JC Stealth isn't able to find anything. And yeah, like I was trying to say, oh, Bordy goes down. Buffalo is trying to match the aggression of Ball State right now, but it's so much easier for Ball State to find Buffalo's backline because we're on defense and we're able to have everything set up. Meanwhile, Buffalo has to try and walk all the way across everywhere and then get onto the backline. So they're a lot slower on getting these kills, and if Ball State just keeps on trading, they're bound to end up just winning this round.
Yeah, Voltar switching off the Zen, which is, pretty bad, into dive, opting for that Brig. The Brigitte, which is usually considered the dive counter for support. And the Kitsune comes out from Patient Zero. The Nano comes out from Alphabet as well. And he's just going to absolutely run through that Kitsune, not caring at all in the world. Even if he dies, he has that self-destruct, so it just doesn't matter too much. He's able to play that very aggressively. And once again, they'll have the fight win. JC's looking for any kill he can. but Ball State have so much uptime. It's Alphabet and Spencer able to keep each other alive. They have the nade, they have the Suzu. They sleep as well to stop any dive that JC tries to pull off. So once again, just a huge Ball State domination during that fight. What do you think about the KitchenAid placement from Patient Zero there?
Honestly, I didn't really see it, but the biggest thing is just Droid is able to do so much right now. They really don't have a lot of pressure on him, and I was talking about him getting demeched, but now that he's like able to kind of survive a little bit longer in these fights, and I mean, Bordy just gaps on the tracer angle, they're really struggling to move him. And right, like look at this. This soldier's trying to get any value out of it. He's just gonna, wow. Then he gets the kill too. Like that's ridiculous. It is so difficult to move this D.Va character, and their monkey's trying to match the dive, but there's just no way he can get any kills when Spencer and Alphabet are healing each other, and then Droid is just there right on top of the Sojourn, didn't get a single shot onto anyone else, and then just one-shots him.
Dal said, I'm gonna use my overclock. Droid said, no, you're not. I have defense matrix. Good luck getting a projectile through that. I'm surprised we haven't seen Volter try to whip shot Droid more often.
Yeah, but
push him back out of there. That is what we switched on to break for.
It's very difficult, like on Monk, like especially on the attack, like on attack here. There's not a lot of spots where you can do it very easily, especially to the point where Droid can't just fly back.
Yeah, true. But at least, you know, whip shot, you'll proc your inspire, you'll you know, at least delay them a little bit. That is now Dal finding the kill on the Ghost, who was getting juggled by JC, but Bordy and Droid are able to find two of their own, putting the numbers back in their favor. The Primal Rage now expires for JC, has to use his jump to get out. Bordy has his pulse, might look for a stick on the brink, he does, able to find the stick on Volter. Ghost is coming now back on the Venture. This is a very good character to hold last point, hold overtime because of that dig. Does not look like UBuffalo has any more good touches. They don't. So that will be the end of the round one. They got the first point at least, but they didn't get too much after that.
Yeah, and the big thing here is just Buffalo needs to find a way to survive. They're getting some okay kills, they're getting some picks here and there, some trades, but at the end of the day, Ball State, every single fight has been able to kill pretty much both supports, the DPS early. Buffalo's really struggling to get into the later parts of the fight with a man advantage. And, you know, they're trying their best on these dives, but if your backline dies, it doesn't matter how many kills you really get unless you're able to completely match it. And at this point right now, they weren't able to do that. It might be a little bit easier for them on the defense, like I was talking about, especially on dive. You get so much advantage being on defense because you just get to set up and do everything you want to do whenever you want. But it'll be fun to see Ball State tackling the challenge of being on the attack, especially with the two flex supports.
So Spicy on that Symmetra. Now they are on defense, so it's not for TP. That is legitimately the pick they're going with. Do you think? Is she trying to set up a TP bomb or something? Maybe
I believe it is a counter for the D.Va.
Because, oh, gotcha. The beam. Yes.
Like I mentioned, like it was so difficult for them to move Droid a lot of the time. So this sim is pretty much going to try to kind of probably act as a bodyguard and then just shoot only Droid pretty much. But Droid is going to kind of have to handle that. Like it's not going to be easy for him because he's just going to be able to take a lot of free damage from both the monkey and the sim. But
yeah, so we want to counter the D.Va, but we're not choosing Czar. Is that just, do you think UBuffalo sticking to their dive, or?
I think it's very, like the Czar, it would be good as a counter, but it's pretty hard on this map because at least the sim gets some verticality. And I mean, there you go. Great shots from Ghost, but it is going to be hard for Ball State to fully capitalize off this. But Soj does go down, but there's so many trades going on, and only 2 alive for Buffalo now. Droid isn't in his mech yet, but
if Ghost can find the shot,
a couple of shots missed there.
JC will fall.
Droid does go down.
That might be it. Buffalo? No, JC died last, so Buffalo's going to be a little bit deprived of a touch here.
Yeah,
who's going to be the
sim
first?
TP. So it's not the fastest of caps they might be able to touch. It doesn't look like they're going for it.
Oh yeah, it's not worth the risk, I don't think.
Yeah, and we do see Droid coming out on this Doomfist now. So right, like the sim did a good job. It was able to demech him, but they weren't able to contest any of the other threats, like Ghost on Ash here, and Monkey goes down early here. Droid is on the back line on Doomfist. and kills their Sojourn. Spencer's TPing in now, getting a little aggressive. They're not afraid of anything.
Yeah, Droid with just one punch, 1 4-second cooldown, forces Disruptor Shot and Suzu. Like, tell me Doom isn't just not an overpowered character in the right circumstances. I mean, absolutely crazy. You see pings coming out. They can hear someone on their right, maybe. Now, there's no one there. They might be schizophrenic. Droid once again going for the dash, punching the monkey. He's already at half health, jumps to nowhere, invests that bubble as well. Once again, both of Winston's cooldowns are already gone. Bordy now looking for some shots onto Dow, who switched off that Sojourn and onto the Cassidy. Obviously, a direct counter to Droid. And he's nanoed. Droid nano on the Doomfist. I don't think there's anything I'm more scared of. It doesn't matter that you have sound barrier. It doesn't matter how much overhealth you have. Droid nano Doom is never something you want to see. And he has Meteor Strike. And he has Kitsune Rush. That will be the second map win for Ball State. Who is touching? Who is on touch right now? What is Ball State doing? Okay, there we go. Okay, the Sim was holding touch. Spicy was holding touch for a long time, so good stuff from him to at least keep the overtime going. Not even overtime, sorry, just keeping that touch consistent. But, I mean, once Droid went on that Doom, I mean,
Droid in the backline with Bordy. And, you know, big respect to Buffalo, because the biggest thing there is they found so many kills. We can't see the scoreboards, but I'm positive that while it probably wasn't necessarily like super close in terms of like eliminations and everything, Buffalo definitely wasn't going like players had no kills, no nothing. Like almost every single fight, there was at least 1 or 2 Ball State members dead. But at the end of the day, if you're not able to maintain the same level of trades and you're not able to live some of these engages, some of the ultimates and things like that, you're not going to be able to win. So they did a very good job on their dives, being able to find some of those kills here and there, but it is pretty rough when, if you're playing that Winston, you go in, you get your kill, and then you turn around, your whole team's dead. It's hard to really pull it back after that.
Yeah, finding the balance between peel and counter dive probably is very difficult because, on one hand, you're like, just as you said, like, guys, I killed their backline, but then you realize your backline's dead as well. And the D.Va versus the Winston, Droid will most likely outplay you there and finish the fight win. So it's just JC was doing his best. He was trying as many things as possible, but then also the characters he has to diving in Ana, while it looks easy because she has no movement cooldowns, is much, much harder if you dive her when she has both of her cooldowns. You get slept, you get naded. I mean, there's really not too much you can do if you dive in Ana with both her cooldowns. So you just have to time it really well, but you know that Droid, he's going to go when his Ana has both of his cooldowns, so that if the counter dive does come out, it's not going to be at any huge effect. And then at any time, you have Spencer on the critical, able to TP Suzu if Alphabet needs help. So really, really hard comp to play against, and especially because Ball State was playing it so well. And then you see him hop on the Doomfist, which is just, I mean, the character for getting out cooldowns. It's because his cooldowns last because his cooldowns are so short, he's able to get them so quickly, and they're so damaging, really, is what I would say. Is because if you get punched into a wall like was happening in those buildings on the Skyrise, I mean, you just force Suzu. You force a 13-second cooldown by using 2 4-seconds. It's really, really a strong character.
And on this next map, we are going to Servasa. So this map, you can see a lot of different things here. I'm not sure if Buffalo's going to try to go back to the dives, if maybe they want to try and make that work, if they're going to maybe just roll out on something brawly and, kind of switch it up, maybe get some trick plays in there. But a pretty wide range, because especially on flashpoint maps, you can play almost anything because at least a couple of the points will be good for you. So it might not be perfect in every single situation, but so many of these points, they're so different from each other. So some comps will be best on this one, some will be really bad on the other ones. So kind of sticking to your style, being okay sometimes with losing a point, just so that the next point you're going to win. That's a very common strategy as well. So a lot of different things can come out here. It'll be pretty fun to see.
Yeah, saving ults, I assume, is as well as what you're talking about. You know, maybe you lose this point, but you have 5 ults versus 2. You know that you probably have a pretty guaranteed first cap and maybe even a pretty long hold if you're able to use those 5 ults to good use. And here we go. My favorite part, what comps are we going to roll out on? Are we going to see Ball State playing, you know, some maybe off-meta stuff, you know, trying some different stuff out? We know how they like to switch it up when it gets later into the match like this. Sig, Bap, Lucio. I've not seen too much Sig on Flashpoint, actually.
Yeah, definitely is played here and there. You don't typically see it with the Lucio, though. And, like, you know, we do have Yakester in, so, like, Lucio is kind of the expected pick a lot of the time. But Buffalo, it does seem like they're wanting to go back onto that dive comp. And, you know, Bastion here, see, we were talking about the Bastion pick earlier in the first map. And in this situation, it could work pretty well because they do now have the Sigma to support it properly. And, okay, I guess he didn't want to do it. But, yeah, like, Buffalo, they're going to have a hard time. They're going to get poked out a ton, but they have such a strong dive here. If they're able to actually find their way onto Spencer, and actually Ghost does come out here on this Bastion. Looks like he was a little bit undecisive, but here he comes.
Yes, I'm excited to see this.
He's going to be a really key part of living against these monkey dives here. And I mean, what are you supposed to do on monkey when you jump in and then all of a sudden this guy's in his turret form and then you're just getting absolutely mowed down.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane the damage output you can have, and it only gets worse with the perks.
And you're gonna see 2 very different styles of play here. You're gonna see Ball State. They're gonna, I'm sure they're gonna play it aggressive as well, just because that's kind of what they be doing. But they're definitely gonna be looking to kind of live a little bit and then just punish once that monkey goes in. And looks like we have a little bit of a flank here from Ghost. Straight into the back line, and he's only shooting their Winston. He's taking a lot of damage, but Spencer does come through with the help, and Bordy meets them. Bordy does go down here, but everything else gets cleaned up. And like I said, this comp, you're supposed to play it a little bit passive, but, you know, when you want to get a little bit silly, and, I mean, this is what we were talking about. I bet you Nick right now is screaming, guys, look where I am, look where I am. And everyone says, all right, man, sounds good to me. And now they're just waiting. All right, let me know when to go. And there you go. Now he's on the attack. He's sprinting straight out. Everyone comes in to support him right away. Spencer gives him the lamp. He gets 1 kill. Doesn't even go down yet. And then, yeah, like, Buffalo does manage to get the flip here. Probably won't matter all that much, but those kind of plays, it's just trust between your teammates. You see him in the back line. All right, man, I'm down. And then you just let him know when to go. You give him that go sign. Everyone gives him everything so that he can survive, and then you win the fight.
Do you think part of this bat pick from Spencer was, okay, Ghost, you can play these crazy off angles, and I'll just lamp you if you get close to death?
I mean, so far these lamps have been absolutely clutch.
I think that's the game. I think that's legitimately the game plan going in here. Just using your lamp for your Bastion, and it's working because Ghost can put himself in ridiculous positions like this, and everyone just walks. Perfect timing. Ghost does fall this time. Bordy looking for the trade. The Graviton, the Gravitic Flux, sorry, I completely forgot what it's called, comes out from Joy. The Dragon Blade comes out from Ricky. That's a different flex DPS. We have a 3rd flex DPS now in for UBuffalo. The stick, though, from Bordy, that will put JC at low health. Bordy will be able to finish off the kill. Yakester now looking for the Lucio 1v1. Is able to get the kill on a Volter. Now looking for the final kill onto Ricky. He is able to get it, and that is the first cap for Ball State on the 2nd point. The Bastion ult comes out. Configuration Artillery, I believe it's called. I never need to know what that ult is actually named because I rarely cast a Bastion. But yeah, we're up to 20% cap already. And Droid back on the D.Va, no more longer on the Sigma. So Ghost does lose that pivotal shield that Bastion likes to play around so often, but here is the window. This is going to be absolutely brutal damage. Yeah. Ghost is going to shred through the players of UBuffalo. Wow.
Listen, that's the wrong way to go, man.
That is insane.
You know, someone get that guy a map. He thought he was safe going back to his team. No, sir, you're going straight into a Bastion with the window behind him. Wrong direction. If you're going to go anywhere, try to get anywhere but that one spot. And just gets absolutely mowed down. And they are swapping here onto the Queen. They do have an ult here. Yakester doesn't. Ball State has nothing to counter this, so a lot of the pressure is going to have to come from this Sojourn, but we saw last time if Droid is able to find where he goes, and there you go, like an absolute hawk, he's right onto him, and then look what he's going to do. Hold right click, absolutely no value gets done. Bordy one-shots him, and then it just wraps from there. I mean,
he gets
actually,
no, though.
Yeah, some trades are coming through here now. Droid not in that mech, but
JC has so much uptime on the Queen. The Suzu comes out, the pulse hits with the perk. Has that bigger radius, 50% larger radius, so Bordy is able to find the kill even though he doesn't find the stick. Spencer finds the flex support 1v1 on the Apollo, and Ball State once again win the second point.
Yeah, and I mean, poor JC Stout, he is quite literally playing a horror game right now. Ghost on this Bastion, he just wants to make his life absolute hell. No matter what character he plays, especially the Queen and the Winston, they're quite squishy. Once Ghost is in that form, JC Stout has to run for his life. And a lot of the time when you're just constantly on the run and then you just have Ball State chasing you, it's hard.
Yeah, Volter already swapping onto that Brig. Droid just running at Apollo, looking for the kill onto that Juno, onto that flex support. He does get demech though, uses his self-destruct, does not find any kills, in the remake either, but Ghost finding headshots, absolutely melts the health of JC, is able to put him to low health. Ball State find the first cap, but Buffalo have much more space here. Volter in a completely, I don't know, that's a position your Brig should never be in, that far up. Has so little mobility on that character, and yeah, that's going to be another team fight win for Ball State. They get the cleanup on to JC, and Volter playing very aggressive on that Brig, not really where you want to see your Brig be playing.
Yeah, and like, you can play a little aggressive, you just need it to be well timed, and now Ball State that they have the point cap and they comfortably win this fight, they're going to look to play aggressive here. Look, we have everyone really up high, and then there you go, Spencer's up high on the high ground with the window. Blade's going to come through to try and clutch with this fight. Yakester says hell no, and then just kills him. Yeah.
Oh, nearly gets the one clip onto Apollo.
Yeah.
They're going to let him live.
Looks like he was trying not to.
It's the Fearless skin.
Oh. Yeah.
So Apollo opting to buy the Fearless pack, which. Oh yeah! What? I mean, I agree with you guys.
That's okay.
Wow, crazy stuff coming out from Ball States. The emotes staggering the Juno. Really good stagger from them there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that is a great skin. The Fearless skin's a great skin to look at. I cannot lie. I would not kill her either on the Juno. But yeah, you know. Oh wait, let me go back to my team. No, not really what you want to do there.
Yeah. And, you know, the Bastion pick, it just makes a tank's life really difficult. You know, things like the D.Va are very good into the Bastion, but, you know, not a lot of tank players like playing D.Va and things like that. So sometimes you don't really want to swap up what you're actually playing, but yeah, dominant win from Ball State. You know, kind of what we've come to expect. Hopefully we'll see a lot of the same in the next match as well.
Yeah, and what I would usually be saying here is that is all for tonight, but it's not all for it's not all for tonight, is it, Yakester? We still got more. We still got some more. I'm getting the double thumbs up from Yakester because we still have Western Michigan University to face off. But before we get to that, I am going to run to a quick commercial break, so do not go anywhere. What's up, Bordy? Are you gonna give me double thumbs up as well? No. Oh, thumbs down. Anyways, so I'm going to throw to a quick commercial break after the replay. Yeah, poor Apollo. Just Spencer finds the triple headshot. They're checking out the Fearless skin. It is, I've said this before, it's a pretty nice skin, but we are going to throw to a quick break. We'll show you a quick commercial, then we'll throw to we will be right back. And after that, once WMU is ready, once they finish their first match, we will get to that match, the last match of the season, a sentimental one. The last one, I should say, before playoffs, that is. But we'll throw to that right now, and we'll be back after this.
The quest for knowledge and a greater understanding is a lifelong pursuit. An ascent towards a fulfilling career and a meaningful life. As Ball State Cardinals, we learned early on that it's our responsibility to prepare and to prepare you for anything. Beneficence stands tall as a symbol of enduring values that have sustained us for more than a century. Forged during a turbulent time, the Great Depression, and from the contribution tradition meets innovation, we form an enduring partnership, a formidable alliance with a deep desire to learn, to teach, to grow, to thrive, to fly. The values of Ball State University embody a wealth of opportunity, a powerful bond among faculty, staff, students, and alumni, and a bright future that includes you. Our intellect and experiences fuel our purpose and our capacity to serve our neighbors. Your journey begins now. We will remember this time for the opportunities we seized, the discoveries we made, and the lives we transformed. At Ball State University, with beneficence as our guide, we fly.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around through that very quick break. We are back with Ball State versus WMU. We are having the doubleheader tonight.
Yep.
So if you just saw, we beat UBuffalo 3-0, and now we get to play against Western Michigan University, another team in the ESC. I'm excited to see, and this is the last match before playoffs of this season, so it's a bit sentimental for some of these players that are graduating, especially like Spencer. So yeah, going to hop into it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and Western Michigan is one of the top teams in ESC right now. I think they only have like 3 losses or something like that. So very respectable opponent. They're definitely not going to be easy, but you know, obviously we're going to have the confidence that we need going into this match. But this should be a pretty fun game.
Yeah. Both these teams are going to be very warm. They did both just play a match of their own in the ESC, and matter of fact, Ball State did just finish a match on Lijiang Tower. That was the first map we played in that UBuffalo match. So now we get to go back on that same map. So, you know, maybe we're going to rock out with the same comp we did. I know we like the Orisa for the Garden Point at least. And did we open Ramatra for Control Center?
We got to Night Market.
Oh, we played Hog Bastion.
Yes.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, another thing, like you mentioned, both teams will be warm, but also there is the mental fatigue factor. You know, that could be something that plays into this match. You know, on Ball State's side, I'm not sure what the score of the Western Michigan game is, but like both teams, if they just got this win, and if Ball State is going to be taking it a little bit easy, they're like, yeah, we already just rolled the last game, you know, now we're going to do the same. They let their guard down. Western Michigan can easily come back in here and then kind of catch them off guard. So they need to be ready for that. Especially you know, Western Michigan, they're the challengers here. You know, Ball State, we're kind of right now, like we said, we're the undefeated team. So we're kind of like the top dog in the situation. You know, we got everything to lose by losing this match. Meanwhile, Western Michigan, you know, if they lose this 3-0, you know, could be a kind of expected result. So they're the ones that are coming in as the underdogs. They got a little bit more to play for here. You know, it's a season closer. They're the ones that has the chance to dethrone us as undefeated and kind of can be that one team that all season, you know, we went undefeated, and then all of a sudden these guys roll in, take some maps off us, maybe even beat us, and then it's you know, that can be pretty scary. So if Ball State's able to keep up the same pressure and the same energy that they had in the last match, I'm sure they'll be just fine. But you know, that mental fatigue is a very real thing, especially in these doubleheader matches. You know, it hasn't the last matches for both teams are relatively short, so not too bad. And you know, Lucas here is an iRacer. He sits at that rig for hours and hours. I'm sure he would be fine in this situation. But you know, the attention span of these Overwatch players, it's not very long.
Yeah, they're all scrolling TikTok in between matches and stuff. I get to drive in circles for 2 hours straight, which is always very fun. But yeah, everybody loves an underdog story. No, it doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes rooting for the underdog is just way more fun than rooting for the team that just absolutely dominates everything. And that means that WMU is going to have a lot of support here to beat Ball State, and they're going to have a lot of probably not confidence, I'd say, but a lot of motivation. Yeah. To really, as you said, dethrone this dominant Ball State team. And for the Ball State side, you have to realize there's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance. It's a very fine line, but the difference is very huge. You want to be confident that you're going to win, but you don't want to be arrogant and make you play sloppy.
Absolutely.
Make you,
we'll hope, you know, we'll have to see how it plays out. If that mental game might be a factor in this game, you know, if they let down on the Heat at all during this game, it could be very difficult for them. But first look at the comps right now. We do have Spencer and Alphabet in, so we are running that double flex support right from the get-go. Bit of a difference than what we're kind of used to seeing here with Yakser and usually. But, you know, now we might be seeing a dive comp here with Droid on the Doomfist, and Western Michigan looks to be coming out on that more traditional brawl. That Sim is almost certainly going to get traded out for a Genji or Tracer, but they are on that Ramatra, so Ball State, they're going to be the ones that have to look for those kills. Looks like a Pharah coming in, so, you know, how much value Droid is able to get out of this pick, how much value Spencer is able to get out of the off angles, all these things. It's going to be very difficult for Ball State, but you know, I'm sure they know how to execute against this type of comp. And we already see Bordy here lurking in the backlines. He's just waiting whenever everyone else is ready, and there he pounces right onto the Pharah. The Pharah's 1 HP now, and she goes, Bordy goes down, and Pharah does as well. It's an even fight here. Ooh, Kiri goes off the map, but just so many trades already coming in. Droid really low. Is he able to sustain? He has no cooldowns here. He's barely living. Ooh, this Sojourn's going for a really aggressive play onto Alphabet, and then he is able to live. Bordy comes back on the respawn, and there are some other respawns available here too for WMU, but let's see.
Oh, it's a good nade from Alphabet. Droid does miss a punch. It's not like, wow, Spencer with the 2K, finds a headshot onto ENC, and another kill onto Vexa. Bordy's able to kill the real Obo, so there it is. The first cap was actually done by Western Michigan, but Ball State will win the first fight. Ghost has 82 charge on his rail. He might look for an early headshot onto the back line. Can you find one on the Lucio? He's not looking for it quite yet. He maybe just hits Diesel. I saw Diesel take a chunk of damage there. Now the real Obo starting this fight low on health already. Bordy looking for the one clip. Nearly is able to get it. Spencer TP's in with him. This is a crazy flank from Bordy and Spencer. Droid does die on that Doomfist. Can Ball State find the trades? Ghost gets nano railed. This is really huge with this new perk. It does so much damage. Can he find any more value? He gets one, but now Droid on that Doomfist is already back. Spencer is coming in with this flank. 5% off of this Kitsune, and Droid has that Meteor Strike. Is he going to be able to find someone to smush? Nearly is able to find the hits onto the real Obo, but this is not over yet. This fight is not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Bordy does have that pulse bomb up. He's going to be looking for something. Diesel, though, finds the rail onto Spencer. That's going to be probably a fight loss for Ball State there.
Yeah, and like we saw a little bit of in this last match, just all these trades coming through. Ball State needs to live. You know, they want to dive. They want to be able to get into the backline, but now we're in the situation where if we're not able to survive and sustain, and then we use all these resources to get one kill, it's not going to be sustainable for us. And Kitsune comes through, Beat comes in to counter, and so much brawling going on from this Ramacha. He is quite low, but no avail into the backline. More ults coming out with the Ramacha ult. Ball State's able to kite this out, but pretty even, no death so far.
Yeah, I believe Obo had to use that Annihilation to live there because he was taking so much pressure, so much damage. Didn't find any value out of it besides just living. Bordy nearly gets the one trip on the Vex. He's so low. He does find the kill and the Mega as well, but Prime finds two with his Pulse Bomb, kills Alphabet and Droid. Spencer TP's to Bordy on the off angle, trying to live. That's Prime trying once again, able to finish it off. And ANC is able to find the headshot onto Bordy. So Western Michigan might just win the first point here.
And a nightmare situation for Ball State. They were in a perfect position to get an easy second touch, everyone alive, but Spencer and Bordy going down so late, it's gonna make this touch hard. But ooh, what a shot by Droid here, and he gets the nano. He's able to get both of the. He's able to get this Lucio. Oh, just missing a couple shots, but the Kiri does go down. Some more trades come through. Ghost is getting punished quite hard on this Sojourn pick at the moment. So especially that Ramacha, he's kind of able to just shut down the value from Ghost and Alphabet pretty hard here. But Ball State, you know, they're probably 2 to 3 fights away from winning this point. They have 4 ultimates up just about. So how they're able to cycle these is going to be really important. Western Michigan got both of their support ults. Looks like for really aggressive play from Western Michigan, but Ghost punishes it immediately. And are they able to get anything? Droid is quite low. He could go down. They force him to use his ult too. So a no ult fight for Western Michigan and 2 from Ball State. Not looking great so far. Looks like Ball State is going to squeak out the win, but Droid goes down. This could give them an opening here. And like I said, Ball State using 2, Western Michigan using none. They're coming up nearly on 5 ults here. So this is going to be the last fight of the game. How of the round, and this could be really big.
Yeah, so Western Michigan's plan here might have just been to save ults that fight, maybe lose it, but that's all good because you have 2 support ults. You might even have 5. There's a sound barrier coming out and the Kitsune coming out from Western Michigan. They have that overclock soon. They have the pulse bomb. Prime and Bordy are able to find kills. So it's an even fight, 4v4, but so many ults are still in the favor of Western Michigan. They have to keep the stick, though. Bordy is able to get the stick onto Obo. Prime gets the stick onto Ghost. Western Michigan have to keep the touch, though. They are the ones at threat of losing the point. Vexa cannot get there in time. Bordy finds the kill onto Prime, falls off the map for good measure, and Ball State narrowly squeak out a 0.1 win.
Yeah, and that was super, super close. And I mean, I think Western Michigan's mistake there is they stack both of their support ults there super early in the fight. They engage with the beat, and then they use a Kitsune right after. They had nothing to sustain themselves once they got past that. Yes, they had some of their other ults, like they got a kill with the Pulse Bomb, but using both of them right at the start, Ball State was able to go all the way backwards, and then Western Michigan tried to keep up their aggression, but then they ran out of their support ults, and they had nothing to kind of like keep themselves in the fight. So needed to kind of have a little bit more discipline there. And this is a little bit hard of a map now for Ball State to be playing that dive comp. Looks like we have the Hazard. What?
Sin falls off the map.
Interesting.
I mean, that's one way to swap characters, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Ball State, they aren't going to be able to play that traditional dive, and I wonder if this Bastion pick will struggle, because again, we don't have the shield for him really, so Western Michigan will get some free shots onto him, but you know, now we also do see a small change on the supports. We have the Juno instead of the Ana, so lots going on here.
Yeah, and Ball State might get a first free fight win, but no, Diesel's able to find the kill on the Ghost. Elbow finds a tank kill on a Droid. Bordy's able to find the kill on the Diesel. Evil gets Alphabet, though. Bordy, though, doing all the work here. Finds two. Looking for the third on a Vexa. He's able to stay alive with that mini, but Vexa will be able to get him as well. So now it's a little bit of a stagger there from Bordy. He's going to have to wait, or his team, sorry, will have to wait a little bit before he's get back. But no, they're going right for it. Spencer's able to find the headshot onto Prime. Ghost looking for some poke damage onto the real elbow. Now has that turret form, but Ramatra in that hands form gets absolutely shredded by Ghost. Now he's looking for some extra shots onto Vexa, pushing him off. Bordy finds the kill onto Diesel, and that's going to be a fight win for Ball State as they're pushing him all the way back to the spawn now.
Yeah, and if Ghost is able to actually live and survive for a little bit, he's going to be able to do a ton on this Bastion. Like, the Ramatra, he won't be able to punch at all because he's just going to be lasering him with all of those bullets. But, you know, that's going to be the challenge. We'll see how it continues to go from here. You know, Alphabet's going to be basically giving him all the healing he could dream of. But Kitsune is coming up here first for Western Michigan. They have that small ult advantage. So Bordy is going to have to look. They get the Suzu out. Doesn't get anything with the pulse. And oh my goodness. Ghost does get stuck, but he does go down even though he survived for a second there. His trades are going in the favor of Ball State. They have a couple more ults if they need to, but looks like they're able to survive out here. And there is a swap coming out for Western Michigan now. They're on the Diva rather than the Ramatra, looking to probably survive that Bastion and shut him down a little bit better with that pick.
Yeah, that DM is going to be very vital to stop those incoming onslaught of bullets that Ghost is providing on the Bastion. Now we see the poke, but look at this. Ball State have both support ults online. The overclock comes out from Western Michigan. Are Ball State going to counter with their ults of their own? Yes, they are. The Kitsune comes out from Spencer. That's going to make Ghost an absolute machine gun. Double support ult. The orbital ray comes out from Alphabet, countered by the sound barrier. Nobody has died in this fight yet, but it might be Diesel's the first to fall. He is. That might just be what Ball State need to win this fight. Droid holding that right click and finds the one tap onto Prime Evil. That combo of that violent leap and that headshot shotgun does so much damage. Spencer's able to kill Vexa for good measure, and Western Michigan are going to be very deprived of a touch here.
Yeah, and big thing there is just, it was such a close fight for so long. Western Michigan was living so well, and then just that one Sojourn slide too far in, and then it's really hard. Oh, missed sleep, and goes into the backline with the Bastion ult. So well-executed dive. You never see the Bastion really getting involved in those, but great job from him. And then the Hazard ult comes in, lots of trades onto the side of Ball State, and it does look like they're going to be able to clean it up here.
Yeah, it's going to be the .2 map 1 win for Ball State, as the first point was much closer than the second. Ball State maybe found their groove on this control center comp they picked. Running the double flex support Kiri Juno, not something you see often, but something that I really like seeing from them. Kitsune and Orbital Ray are both very, very strong ults in their own, and when you stack them like that, nearly a guaranteed fight win, even when the enemy team sound barriers.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, WMU, very respectable team. Like these guys are good. You know, they're trying to win this match, and you know, it's very tight margins. You know, even though that last map, it wasn't necessarily the closest in terms of the score, there was a lot of very close fights there. It was like it could have gone either way. They had some very well executed fights. They were living really well, but right then it just comes down to the smallest things, right? Who hits one extra shot on the Sojourn, right? That's the difference maker. You know, who makes that one extra mistake? Instead of everyone being able to kite out and everyone lives, the Sojourn goes in and the rest of the team doesn't. Sojourn dies, the rest of the team isn't really able to sustain the same pressure after that. You know, it's the smallest of things now at this point, right? Like, you know, Ball State, again, they are the top dogs in this matchup, so you know, they have a little bit of the extra confidence and everything in this match. So Western Michigan, you know, they can't let that pressure get to them. They need to kind of stay locked in. The small mistakes, like stacking their support ults there on that first point, when they probably could have won that fight if they had spaced them out a little bit better. You know, that's a really important thing, that they need to be able to keep their cool in those situations and be able to kind of push through and secure that vital round win, because every single one matters at this point.
Yeah. Sometimes when the macro for both teams is so strong, when both teams are able to play it very well, it comes down to solo play. You know, what player of your team is able to find, as you said, that one extra shot? You know, can your Soj land that rail onto the back line that puts that much more pressure onto the back line, maybe force them off the angle? You know, you stop healing the tank for just that little bit, you get the pressure you need. Overwatch at the highly competitive levels are all about the small details, the small, just the small little things. You know, rail is not a cooldown, but having it and landing it is such an effective use of a tool. Just hitting a rail onto a backline, even if it's not a headshot, doing that 100 damage, I believe it got buffed to 120, did not? So doing that 120 damage onto a backline, that essentially brings any support character down to either half health or below half health. And just that little bit of extra pressure takes that little bit of more healing off of the rest of their team, and that can be the difference maker in these matches that are so close.
Yeah, and coming up here now, we have Kings Row. So this is a very, traditionally, a lot of people see this as a map that is very brawly. So, you know, Western Michigan, that last round, we only saw them play, they played the Ramatra a lot. They switched onto the Diva for a little bit, so they're not necessarily afraid of playing a little bit of, like, dive. But this is very traditionally a map that a lot of teams like to play brawl on, but especially nowadays, you see a lot of teams running dive. The first point, they have tons of high grounds. Second point, tons of high grounds. All this stuff where, you know, it's a pretty linear map. Like, you're going to see it's very difficult to kind of get onto these, like, sneakier angles just because it's so enclosed. There's not a lot of long sight lines and things like that. So, it can be difficult at times to run a dive, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Ball State rolled out on the Doomfist there on that first point, and we'll see comps here in just a moment. And we do also have a substitution, which is very nice to see. Raven Strider is coming in for his debut match of the season, and this guy's no rookie, to say the least. He has been on this team ever since they have really become like a top competitive team. He's been a grinder for us, and, you know, he's making his ESC 2025 debut here, and he's paired alongside Spencer. We got our two seniors on the team. You know, our support line's a little bit old, but, you know, that's okay. You know, experience gets it done at the end of the day. But yeah, excited to see how Spencer and Raven are able to play. It's not a traditional, you don't traditionally see them playing support together. They've been teammates for so long, but yeah, it'll be fun. And like I mentioned, we do see these dive compositions. We see Ball State on the Diva with the double flex support. We see Western Michigan on a Brig with the Winston. So Western Michigan has strong dive, and that on a Brig needs to live. That's kind of the big thing for them. So Ball State needs to put a little bit of extra aggression using that Kiriko in order to kill their backline. And if they're able to get the trades, they're going to be in a really good spot. And this monkey's already so low.
Yeah, Honor Brig is a very popular support duo to be playing with that monkey, because the Ana can support the Winston from far away, and the Brig can play with the Ana to keep her alive. And Diesel does find the first kill onto Spencer. Droid's able to find the trade, though. but Western Michigan will swing the numbers back into their favor as Prime and Obo kills of themselves, but Droid doing a lot of work on this D.Va is able to kill Vexa as well, so that's actually both supports dead for Western Michigan, and Ravenstrider was able, Ravenstrider and Spencer both died on support as well. So both supports got traded out. I think just a backline trade, essentially, is what happened there. Do Ball State have the touch, though? Droid's trying his best. He's got 60 health, though, and he is going to die. Can he keep this touch for any more longer? I don't think Ball State have any follow-ups. Wait, Ghost now on the Tracer. Spencer on the off angle, looking for any kunais, looking for a TP out. Does not have one, and Ball State will allow Western Michigan to take a really quick first point cap.
Yeah, and, you know, the backline difference here is Spencer and Ravenstrider, it's a lot harder for them to live compared to the Ana Brig. So, you know, Spencer goes down there early and they have nothing, like, you know, that's it almost a lot of the time it'll feel like. Because then, you know, all it takes is one dive onto Raven. He's going to have no support. He has no chance of really living. And then he'll just go down. So the key here is, like, Spencer does want to play aggressive, but if they start dying, it's going to be really, really tough here.
Yeah, Ghost now on that Cassidy. Spencer is able to find a headshot onto Diesel with the dive from Droid. He's able to find the nade from Alphabet to kill the Ana, and a great sleep from Ravenstrider, not Alphabet. I misspoke. I'm so used to it being Alphabet. Great sleep, great nade from Raven to kill EA, and then great sleep from Raven to kill Obo. So Raven, in his senior game, using really two good cooldowns there, finding the kills. So great stuff from him already so far. And Ghost already 71 to ult. He just switched onto that cast.
It looks like an aggressive play coming here from Droid. They do have both supportals to support. It doesn't go onto Droid. They nano the Cassidy, and Droid does get the bomb off. And they try to counter with the rally. He needs to reload, and the Brig does go down. Ana goes down too, and you know there's that signature Ball State aggression. They push the boundaries. You know they go in with only one of the support ults. They did use two in Western Michigan only need to use one, but these situations aren't necessarily the worst, especially when you just go +1 on how many ults you use. But again, more aggression. They're almost holding the spawn here. So, you know, if they're able to get this pick, and there goes Bordy, right? They just keep pushing. And the big key here is Western Michigan can't touch the cart, right? Like this whole time, this cart is going to be rolling all the way back to the start. Ball State is going to be holding it so that Western Michigan can't touch it at all. So even if Western Michigan wins a fight here, Ball State's not going to really care because now Western Michigan has to make up for all that progress that they lost. And, you know, they're holding here again. They have the Kitsune to try and look early. Western Michigan's going to try and out-rotate Ball State here. Yeah, they go all the way around, so they're trying to circumvent this. And, you know, they have so many of these ults. Ball State's looking to play around the point. They can't get that aggressive play anymore. And here they go. Droid all the way in the back. Great sleep.
Yeah, he gets Suzu, though. Then the nade comes out right afterwards. So Droid getting sleep, Suzu, and then naded. And he gets demeched as well. Obo uses his Primal Rage. He's able to finish off Droid. And now that is a fight win for Western Michigan. But can Bordy, Raven, and Spencer do something on this off angle? But Ghost and Droid are really far behind as they're respawning. Spencer doing everything he can to keep Raven and Bordy alive here. He's not going to be able to. Raven will be the first to die. Bordy says, I'm out of here.
Kill.
Spencer is able to find the trade onto EA, though. And can him and Bordy do anything on this flank? No. Obo will be able to kill Bordy. Did not quite see what happened there. I heard him yelling in the background, so maybe Spencer stopped healing him or something.
Yeah, and it's super close, but, you know, I talked about stopping the cart, but now that Ball State, they had so many of these late deaths, the cart is right at the end. So Western Michigan, they don't have really any ults, but Droid, again, countering these Sojo ults like he's been doing all day. Ghost does have that high noon, and now we're going with the nano, and Ghost is able to get a pick with that. Going forward with the nano aggression on D.Va as well. Very difficult for Western Michigan to really contest with that, and yeah, Ball State's able to find that win, but you know, Western Michigan, they're in a good spot. They just need to be able to get this ult economy back online. They have absolutely nothing, but they're coming up on so many of these ults. They're halfway to almost everything. They have a minute 20. If Ball State's able to maybe again push that aggression, they're really close on Spencer's ult. Droid has his ult. If they get a fight win really quickly here and Western Michigan gets no ult charge, I mean, that's wraps at that point. So how Ball State plays is going to be really fun to see. Yep, there you go. You see that aggression. They're right on the Juno. Great tracking, and the Juno goes so low. And the Juno does go down. Spencer does trade out too, though.
Yeah, Juno was looking to live there, the Suzu. He got his Suzu from his teammate EA, but Droid just kept up the aggression. Great headshot from Ghost there onto the backline. It's going to put that extra pressure on, and Droid is able to play this aggressive because he has that self-destruct, essentially a second life if they're not able to kill your demech form on D.Va. So once again, I'm sure we're going to see that same aggression here because he, just like a Primal Rage, just like a Meteor Strike, and great nade from Ravenstrider, has to force the Suzu from EA, and that's going to be really good cooldown trade.
This fight is about to get crazy.
Wow.
Already the Kitsunes are coming through. That's the first set of ults. The Sojourn already goes down. Another ult, two more support ults, and the self-destruct come through now. And Ghost is just walking forward. Another big, Ravenstrider goes down to the blade. Is Bordy able to find out anything? No, he dies. And all of these ults, and Western Michigan just barely comes out on top. And, you know, Ball State didn't get to use either of those DPS ults. Everyone on Ball State is respawn. They get those wave respawn. If they're able to get a touch here with maybe Bordy's ult, it's going to be really close. He looks like he's going to be able to. So if Bordy and Ghost are able to get value out of these DPS ults, there goes the blade. What's he able to find? Nothing so far. Looks like he might get one kill. They're getting so low, and they're all off the point. Are they going to be able to touch? No! Wow.
Ghost with the 2K.
Yeah.
With that. Oh, I just called High Noon. What's the real name? I've already forgotten.
It's High Noon.
No, but Deadeye.
Deadeye
is the real name of it. That's on me. All good. But yeah, Western Michigan 4-ulted the fight before when they used everything but Overclock. They used Orbital Ray. They used Kitsune. They used Dragon Blade, and they used Primal Rage as well. That's how they won the fight. Ball State used 3 ults of their own, but saved that Deadeye, saved that Dragon Blade to retouch the point, push the entirety of Western Michigan off the point. We're able to force them out of that overtime. So Western Michigan, after getting a really quick first cap, not able to cap second point. Now Ball State, all they have to do is push the cart to the same distance Western Michigan did, and they will be able to win this second map.
Yeah, and again, that was incredibly close, right? Like, good. Like the big thing there too for Ball State is their management of the cart. I've been talking about it a little bit here, but if they don't stop the cart at these certain spots, then Western Michigan is able to get it in at the end there, right? They stopped it at the perfect spot, and they never let it get past anywhere. Once they lost the fight, then Western Michigan gets to move the point. But, you know, Spencer, very smart swap onto the Juno there too. They probably don't get back in time without that speed ring. So really great IQ play there. They get back just in time, and we are going to get a pause here, so we'll be able to talk a little bit more. But yeah, like really great speed ring there by Spencer. They're able to get a little bit more of that distance. Bordy barely gets onto the point there, and then Ghost is able to clear out everything. And, you know, it looked like it was kind of like a C9, like Western Michigan just wasn't touching the point, but Ghost had that ult available. So even though they wanted to, the moment that they did, they get popped.
Yeah.
And we are seeing a switch of styles here from Western Michigan. They're now on the Ramacha rather than the dive. So Ball State, again, they're going to have the challenge now of figuring this out. So, you know, Western Michigan, they're not going to have the control of the high grounds. They're not going to be able to kill Spencer and Ravenstrider as easily, but they're very sustainable. They got that Juno Brig. They got the Ramatra to kind of stop Droid from really doing what he wants. And, I mean, never mind. I guess Ravenstrider's just going to find a nade out of absolutely nowhere to get that kill. Spencer comes in with a huge belt to save Bordy's life, too, but Droid does go down, so this fight is not won just yet by Ball State. And looks like Nick is taking a lot of damage. He barely lives too. Ravenstrider goes for a very aggressive play, but they just couldn't get it together. They do kill the May, and the Sojourn is so low. They want to kill him so bad, but they're still living here.
Yeah, Ghost and Spencer able to live on this off angle. He might be able to get something creative going if he's able to find the right timing, able to find some shots from that high ground. Now Ball State have completely built us around. That pushes Western Michigan all the way off the point, even though no one has died yet. That surround is so powerful. The Reaper comes out from Diesel, which is the direct counter to Winston. And Spencer will be the first to fall from the rail headshot of Prime, and Ghost will be short to follow. But it was a great nade from Raven that is able to kill Oboe. Now Droid goes in with the dive. He has that bubble back up in 2 seconds. Bordy is able to, he finds Vexa is able to find the kill onto him, and Diesel on that Reaper doing so much work killing Raven, killing Bordy, and killing Ghost. That Reaper is playing really, really well against his comp so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally picking Diesel is just picking characters to make Jack's life hell. He picked the Mei when he was on the D.Va, and now he's on the Reaper to counter the Monkey. And we do see one key swap here. Spencer's on the Zenyatta rather than the Kiriko. So Ball State, they have a little bit more damage and everything like that, but they don't really have the same pressure onto the off angles as they do with the Kiri. But really great play there to hunt down the Reaper there with Bordy and Jack. And then, but a lot of aggression coming out. Ooh, big anti onto the Brig, and Raven Strider's finding so much value out of these nades. It's incredible. These players, like, they think they're safe. The Brig thinks he's okay, but then all of a sudden the purple comes out of nowhere, and that really can clutch out this fight. I wonder if Western Michigan can get back in here with maybe the Ramatra and the Juno ults.
Yeah,
looking like they're going to commit.
There's the Annihilation. It got slept, but instantly woken up. The Dragon Blade comes out. The Overclock comes out as well. So many ults. The Primal Rage from Droid pushing up to 1,300 health. He takes so much damage instantly, though. Ghost still holding that Overclock. I wonder if he will invest it for this team fight. He does not. He opts to save it for another round. Ball State only have a minute left. They have to make something happen. They have to make something happen now. The only ult they saved is that Overclock of Ghost, and Spencer's Transcendence is coming up very soon. Just has to wait a little bit longer. Bordy trying to find the early kill onto Diesel. That Reaper dying first would be so huge, and Ghost is able to land the rail, and he's able to kill EA. The Orbital Ray does come out, though, and the nade's a great nade. The Transcendence comes out as well, and that will be a fight win for Ball State. Bordy's able to find the 3K in the end to finish it off. Kills Vexa, kills EA, kills Obo, and that's great stuff from Ball State. They were under huge time pressure there, but were able to group together at the end, and Bordy is happy and looking at some newspapers.
Yeah, and that was such incredible coordination between Bordy and Ghost. Like, you love to see it, because the Juno was in her ultimate, and it was just so much burst damage all at once that the Juno just dies in anyways, right? Like, if their timing is off by 1 second there, the Juno lives, because she's just not going to take enough burst damage. Bordy's not going to be able to get it right away on that kill, so amazing communication and timing there to one-shot that Juno there. And we're going to see another swap. Droid goes onto the Sigma here, and Ghost goes down early here. And again, Ball State now, like, they're on this less divey style. They want to kind of absorb a little bit. They want to kind of try and live a little bit, let Spencer get some value out of the Zen. Looks like he's going to go onto the Juno now, right? But I wonder if they're going to struggle here at all. They have some time here. They have 2 minutes left on this clock. Plenty of time to get their ults and everything back up. But, you know, it's going to be more difficult. And, you know, Droid now comes out onto the Ramatra. So they might be able to play their style a little bit more, right? Like, it's been hard for them to play the aggressors in this situation, especially with that Brig and the Reaper. But, yeah, Ball State on something that might be a little bit more their speed.
Yeah, so Ghost did land a nice body shot rail onto EA there in the back line. And Droid now in that punch form, looking for a lot of damage, but Vexa uses that rally, and that's going to do a lot of healing, a lot of damage, although he does actually fall. It is not the rally you see in GOATS right now. It is the new nerfed rally, not Overwatch 1 rally, so it's a lot less powerful. There's a lot less healing, and Droid is just going to punch Diesel and Obo to complete death. They'll find the final kill onto Prime. That extra stagger might be what Ball State needs to get that little extra card push. They opt for 3 on, and they only have Droid taking this space here, which might be a little risky, but it's probably what you want to do when you have so little time left on the clock. This is going to be, once again, both teams under crazy time pressure. Who has saved the ults for this fight? Who has planned this perfectly? As you see, Ball State only have that Overclock online. They have Annihilation soon, but Western Michigan have Death Blossom, Overclock, Annihilation, and the Kitchenays they just used right here. That's going to give them a lot of space early in the fight. Ball State have to back off the cart now. The Overclock comes out from Droid. The Annihilation comes out from Obo. It's a complete chaos as so many ults are being traded here. There's only 25 seconds left. Ball State have to make space, and they have to make it now. Bordy is close to Pulse. Droid has an Annihilation online. He's probably going to hit the backline with hands and then hit his Q to get that armor back. He's just punching Obo. He's not able to find a kill in the backline. It's a great nade from Raven Strider. No, Diesel with the Death Blossom is able to kill him. Ghost finds a trade though, and the Annihilation comes out from Droid. He kills Obo. Ghost is able to find 2 kills onto Vexa, And there we go. Droid finishes it off. And time pressure with everything on the table. Ball State were able to play the team fight better, able to manage their ultimates better, and win in the end.
That was incredible. The time pressure there is everything, because at that point it's one mistake costs you everything, right? If all of a sudden Ghost goes down early, he gets headshot, someone goes down early, you lose that entire thing. Every single member on the team had to be alive that entire time, right? And it was such an insane sequence. I mean, Western Michigan threw everything they had. They had every single ult except for that rally, and they tried. They used the Kitsune, they used the Ramatra ult, they used the Sojourn ult, the Reaper ult. They got to pick with the Reaper ult too, right? But Ball State with the discipline. They kited one ult, then they go back in, then they kite again. It was like, you know, and it was the use of every single second there, right? They had 1 minute left on that clock going into that fight, like Lucas noted, but they weren't afraid to use every moment of it, right? They didn't rush. If they go for the overcommit there, they might get out ulted, right? Like, we didn't start with all our ults there. Instead, we kept on waiting. We milked every second of that clock. We had that patience. They kite out one ult. They go in. They kite out another ult. And then by the time Spencer had his ult, Droid still had his ult, right? They only had to use Ghost ult to get all of these things out. And then even though Raven Strider goes down there, he wasn't the one that had his ult, right? So that death was impactful, but not nearly as like if he killed the Juno or something. So really great plays by Ball State. Like, the time crunch, huge pressure, right? But keeping your cool there, right? Like Western Michigan, that first map, they weren't able to do that. Ball State now, they keep their cool. They kite out all these things. They play that fight to perfection, and then they close out the map.
Yeah, Ball State, they really played the ebb and flow of that last fight very, very well. You saw once again WMU were stacked their ults. They stacked that Kitsune, and they didn't perfectly stack with Annihilation. Like 5-7 seconds after, I say, is when Obo used his Annihilation. But it was so close together that Ball State, they were already kiting Kitsune. So when the Annihilation comes out as well, they've already backed up off of it.
Yeah.
So they've already, so essentially just kiting 2 ults at the cost of, they thought they were only kiting 1 ult, but since they used that second as well, they got another very impactful ult out. And once I saw Droid taking that space again, I said, oh, he has Annihilation. Yeah. He's going to be able to play very aggressive here, because you get so much extra armor when you press that Q, even after you've already used your hands for him. So I just knew that he was able to play aggressive, and then Ghost finding the trade onto the Reaper that Death Blossomed his Raven. That is absolutely huge. Finding that rail headshot onto the Reaper that's slowly moving. Sometimes Death Blossom and Barrage are the two that come to mind, are essentially just trade out ults. You know, trade yourself out for maybe someone more valuable. I definitely say that an Ana is more valuable than a Reaper in high tense situations like that. So it really got, Diesel got what he wanted out of the ult. He was able to trade himself out for that flex support. It's just that Ball State, they're running the double flex support comp, so they didn't lose all of that healing. They still have Spencer on that critical that is able to keep Droid up and able to get him to use that Annihilation.
And also, you probably have to think, I wonder if like Ball State knew that Reaper ult was coming in, because if they had stacked up, if they had Ghost, Raven, and Spencer all standing on top of each other, that Reaper ult could have killed 3. But I think they had a really good split going on, so they weren't able to kind of really get that same pressure. So we are going into this next map now, and looks like Western Michigan's gonna roll out on that dive comp. Like I said, on Servasa, you can play a bunch of different things. So Ball State is gonna roll out on the Ramatra to start, with Ghost on that Ashe instead of the Sojourn. Looks like we're gonna have the Juno and the Ana. Juno kind of takes that place of the Lucio with the speed, and then, you know, Ana with the nades. We've seen Raven be getting so much value out of these things tonight. So you know, different matchup again, right? Like, now Western Michigan has to be the ones that have to figure out how to play the dive into the brawl. Ball State has to figure out how to play the brawl into the dive. So playing to their strengths, and whoever can do whichever better is going to be really big here. Monkey Bubble comes out early. Droid is already super low, but he's clearing a ton of space, and then Bordy goes down. We get a big trade. Suzu's out, and then looks like Ball State's going to go for a really big walk here. Droid is getting so much pressure out here.
Yeah, Droid was low, but correct me if I'm wrong, that Juno and that Ana, that's crazy healing output. If not the most healing output you can get from a support duo, if not the most, very close to the two most just straight up this straight up heal output.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, both of those characters, actually the only two in the game that their primary fire is able to heal and do damage. Great headshot there from Ghost, already finding massive damage into the backline of Western Michigan. And let's see who's closest to ult. It is going to be Ghost.
Yeah.
Already 61% to that Bob, which can be critical. Well, he misses his his coach gun. Hopefully no one saw that. But Bob is so crucial in point maps like this because not only does it do massive amounts of aimbot damage, it is able to hold a point and stop
Ooh,
from
big
capping.
nade by
It's a
Raven
huge
Strider.
nade from Raven. Droid will be able to use his hands form and find the kill onto EA, although he is getting heavily dove here from that Lucio speed. Bordy's able to find the melee onto him, and Western Michigan's had enough of this fight. They are getting out as you see them running away. Ghost, though, able to find Diesel on his way out, and Droid looking for these staggers as well onto Prime, and Obo nearly gets it onto Prime, just not quite.
Yeah, and he's already swapped back, but they did swap onto the Ana there for a brief moment to try and get value out of the nade. But I mean, Raven Strider just shows him who's boss. He ends up anteing the Ana, so then there no more Suzu to be able to cleanse him. And the next fight is starting. Raven Strider goes down, Diesel goes down. It's even trades, but Western Michigan has no one that can touch the point there. So first point does go to Ball State. They're gonna look to clean up some kills, but Bordy goes down, Ghost goes down. Great shots by Western Michigan there, and yep. Droid gets a trade, and looks like it trades out pretty evenly. Both teams will be able to get back onto that next point. Not full strength. But yeah, so back on that Kiri pick because Raven Strider's nades have just been a problem. And another key thing is Diesel onto the Tracer instead of a Sojourn. So Western Michigan is going all in on this dive. They have to kill Raven Strider. They have to kill Spencer. If they're not able to kill those two guys, there's really no chance for them. So how they're able to do that, how Ball State's able to deny that is going to be big. And here comes the Blade, here comes a Bob. Spencer goes down early, doesn't get that ult off. The Monkey goes down too, so lots of trades. Ghost goes down. Raven Strider's dead too, so only Bordy and Jack remaining in this fight. It's completely dead even in this fight now. Jack with the Ramatra ult, and then he's able to close it out. Only the Lucio remaining. I don't think Vex is going to be able to clutch anything out here. And what a crazy fight. So many different trades happen there, and now we see some swaps coming from Western Michigan.
Yeah, so Ball State actually went into that fight having all 5 ults, only had to use Bob and Annihilation to get it done. And the Annihilation was just forced right at the end. Droid wanted to make sure he secured the fight, so he presses his Q just to give him that extra armor, just enough to kill the 2 remaining players of Western Michigan. But Prime finding the early kill onto Bordy, the sound barrier and Kitsune Rush come out from Western Michigan. The orbital ray, the counter comes out from Spencer. Ghost is able to find the trade onto Prime, but Vexa is able to find the kill onto Raven, so Western Michigan do have the numbers until Vexa dies there. But no, Diesel once again putting the numbers in their favor. Bordy, can he look for the stick? No, has to recall. He does. Find the stick onto Obo, but he still has hands for him. That'll give him a lot of armor and a lot of health back. And it's just Bordy versus Obo. He will actually get the kill. I believe he still has Spencer with him. He does. That's how he has so much sustainability here. Vexa is already back with a good amount of his teammates, though. Ball State and Bordy gets nanoed. We're nanoing Tracer. We're putting everything on Bordy. Bordy is just cleaning up the house, though. Able to win that fight. It looked so unwinnable. Not only did Western Michigan start up a player, they double support ulted. How did Ball State win that fight is just beyond me.
I don't know. This match has just been an absolute bloodbath. I mean, every single fight, one person's dead, then another person's dead. Like, it is so close. It is coming down to these 2v2s, these 3v3s, and Raven Strider on the flank, on the Ana pick, and then gets 2 kills, like helps get 2 of these kills in the backline. Wow, again, like, these guys, they know how to be creative. It's not the exact same play every single time. Just when Western Michigan gets comfortable, you know, even though they're down 2-0, you know, they've been winning these fights, and then all of a sudden they have to deal with an Ana in their backline, and then Bordy's right there. They support the play, and then boom, fight win. And now Ball State's gonna be able to set up early here again, and Western Michigan does have a couple of ults to try and break this choke, but look at Bordy right into the backline right away, applying so much pressure, forces out the Bell, I believe, and he's gonna look for this pulse now. Bob comes in, and again, this aggression, they're not letting Western Michigan breathe at all.
Yeah, and Droid now has his Annihilation online, does not actually have to use it because he still has his right click, still has that shield. So Bordy gets the kill on a Diesel, and Ball State are just hindering Western Michigan now, not using any ults, just delaying them, saving their ults for when they're under time pressure, because Western Michigan really only have one good fight left. If they lose this next fight, it's going to be a very hurried touch for them, if they get a touch at all. And Ball State have saved 3 ults for this next fight now. Western Michigan do have all 5 of theirs, so this could be a crazy fight. Is Western Michigan going to open with an ult first? They might have to. They've been opening with Kintu a lot, and there it is. Prime Evil uses Sound Barrier, and the nade comes out. It's a great nade as well. I believe that got deflected actually by Prime Evil, who used Dragon Blade. Spencer uses that orbital ray, able to still alive. Ghost gets the kill onto Evil. The Annihilation comes out for Droid. The Annihilation comes out from Oboe. Droid is able to maybe kill him. He does get the kill on the Kiriko, looking for Vexa as well. He is. So he kills both, supports the stick, goes on to the Annihilation. Droid has hands once again, and that will be the fight win for Ball State. So many ults being used. 6 or 7, I believe, if I am doing my math correctly. And they're still touches. This isn't over yet. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is not quite done. Although Droid does get the kill on the EA with that nano, and that will be it. Raven, no, it's not.
Touch.
They're not giving up hope. Vexa's able to get touches, and it's Oboe back on the Winston, able to get touches as well. All 5 of their players traded out touches there to extend that just a little bit longer. They did not want to lose. The underdog story just didn't happen there. That was such a close match. Even though it was 3-0 map score, every fight was close, and Ball State just had that little edge.
Yeah, and again, like it's so fun to see because, right, like 2 players, that was a man, they were down a person. It was 4 people alive for Western Michigan in that last fight. Ball State only had 3. And then, but the coordination, the confidence, the timing, everything was there from those 3 remaining players. You know, they stayed calm. They executed that play right there. They went aggressive. They weren't afraid, right? Like most teams, you go down a player. Okay, guys, reset. You know, let's run away. None of that here, right? Like they saw their opportunity. They immediately went for it. You know, even though they're down a player, that doesn't matter to them. They know that they're capable of winning that fight. Droid and Bordy get in there immediately. They're punching. They find all these kills. And, yeah, like we saw that all night. And it was, you know, scary because, you know, at times I'm like, oh, I don't know if these guys are going to be able to win it. But, you know, they consistently surprised us. And it was a joy to watch.
Yeah, it's commonly said that when so we get to interview Spencer. Raven... Yeah, so Spencer, the senior Raven, is unfortunately not in the arena, but we do at least get to interview Spencer. We have 3 Kiriko players now on the booth, which is always a fun story. And how was it out there, Spencer? how was it out there?
Chill.
Chill.
Yeah. Very hard matches. We're kind of just.
Oh, is your mic off? Spencer. Kennedy's telling me it's off. Are we okay? Can we hear Spencer? We cannot hear Spencer. You know what?
I can't hear Spencer.
You guys are more important. You go, take that.
You have that. Hello.
Hi.
So, the question.
You gotta ask the question.
So the main thing is we, you know, for is this your first time completing a season undefeated?
No, I think I did my first year.
Nice. But you know, we're going into playoffs now undefeated. How do you feel about going to the LAN?
I'm excited. Only really one team worth talking about for competition. That's Northeastern. Not trying to flame the other schools here, but I think we're good against everyone else.
Do we got a copy now?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So, yeah, my first question is always how was it out there? You said chill.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, it wasn't really worried too much. We're kind of just playing our game, doing our thing.
Some of those fights looked absolutely insane against WMU. That comes down to the 2v2. Droid is forced to use Annihilation. Walk me through, because even though it was a 3-0 map score, everything was close, it seemed. The fights came down to the end. It came down to what individual players could outperform the others. So what is it that puts you ahead of them in those close situations?
I mean, like you just said, the individual skill on our team is something that not really any other ESC team can match. Just in terms of individual performance, we will typically dominate them in that regard.
Yeah, and you guys have the macro skill, of course, to back it up. You know, I know Yakester and Ghost are crazy at alt tracking and fight planning like that and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Ghost, maybe not so much, but you know.
Is Yake the carry on the alt tracking?
Yeah. For alt tracking, yeah. And then Droid for our fight planning.
Oh yeah, I mean, we know Droid's macro is kind of cooked, or kind of cracked, sorry.
Sometimes
he was
cooked.
telling me, I remember I was having a conversation with him. For his high school team, he would have to call every single one of his teammates cooldowns. Like,
Yeah,
he'd
that's
have to say, okay, now you're going to amp heals here, and then we're going to ring now, and then now we have to use Suzu. Crazy.
Yeah, it bleeds into it a little bit. Sometimes he'll like tell me exactly how to play, and I'm like, all right, bro.
So I'm the senior here.
Here's Suzu.
Suzu me now, Suzu me now.
Yeah, but it's chill. Him calling for cooldowns is to be expected.
How is it playing with Ravenstrider? You know, this is his ESC debut for the year.
Felt nice.
You haven't really had the opportunity to be a support duo with him throughout the years. You've usually been on like tank or DPS or something. So how was it?
It was nice. I had to play boring Juno, but it was a good time.
How was it holding left click on Droid?
Oh, it was a blast. I was actually shooting the enemy team more than anyone else.
I bet you picked that crit perk instantly.
Oh, yeah.
You're damaged Juno now.
Raven at one point was like, Bordy, do you want Nano? And I was like, no, gimme. But Bordy got it. I would have killed 4.
No, you would have.
I would have. I was beaming.
Dude, the crit is crazy.
It was before I had it, but still. I'm killing 4.
Crit nano orbit must go crazy.
Oh,
I want that.
that's a dream.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's a dream.
All right, do you have any more questions, Ada? Well, thank you so much for joining us, Spencer, in his last streamed match for Ball State. We'll, of course, see you at the ESC LAN being streamed by ESC in Miami, but that's not being streamed by us, unfortunately. Would love my headset. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Spencer. Oh, Carlos interview, because he also is a senior. Yes, of course. I forgot. We don't only have seniors on the team. We have seniors on the prod team as well. When Spencer stole your chair, Yake is doing some dances in the background. Here we go, Carlos. First question. How was it out there?
Dude, it's been an eventful 4 years. It really has. From the program changing so much, I've seen so many iterations of every single team, from iRacing to Overwatch to League of Legends. Literally every team has changed for the better. Like here, I have seen this program grow so much, and like before, I never seen us compete in like the Overwatch like homecoming series or anything. Now we are Rocket League, CRL, all that sim racing, just having like these amazing drivers and everything. League of Legends, getting people from like Korea and everything. Like this program's grown for the better, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and the production has grown as well, improved as well since you guys have started. Talk us a little through about that.
So yeah, for people that don't know, I do run all the productions here. I've been here every single year for Ball State. We've implemented so much stuff, HUD features, better spectator stuff, the keys that you're seeing and everything. We've implemented better systems, 24-hour charity streams if you haven't seen those, a bunch of other fun stream events that we just never thought we would ever do. But with the power of like just doing it and sheer will and banging rocks together and hoping it works, it's been a dream come true. Like, and I wouldn't change anything. Like, I'm glad I committed 4 years for Ball State Esports, and it was just it's such a thrilling ride to see like everything evolve from our casters to the production to literally every team here getting like all these people. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and to high schoolers who are on the fence about coming to Ball State, what would you say to convince them or persuade them to come here?
No matter if you're an esports person, this is coming from a tour guy.
Yeah, team tour guys.
But Ball State itself is a very welcoming program. Whether Ball State is a welcoming program for anything, not just esports, but like any single program you have. We have so much stuff to implement, and it's always welcoming. I've talked to people literally today in my tour that are on the fence about esports, and I say it is welcoming for everyone. I didn't know anything about esports when I came here. Nothing. Not a single dime of it. And then I got thrown on. I've learned so much. And we're willing to teach people, no matter your rank, no matter what games you're interested in. We'll make a team. We've made other teams. We have a Marvel Rivals team. We have a Counter-Strike team. We have other teams. We have Smash. We have everything. So there's a place for you here at Ball State. And like, even if you're not part of esports, the community here is great. We've had like a bunch of things, and you should come on a tour at least, because we will give you a lot more information about like the campus.
And if you don't play video games, you can also produce for us.
Yes.
You know, we have
Even
so
if you're
many
just
spots
into it.
open we have so many spots open back in the back room, specs, observers, you name it, VDs. There's so many things to do here at Ball State Esports. Do you have any questions, Ada?
What's your
Surely you
favorite
got
game
one.
to cast?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Or not cast, like
Spectate?
spectate and like produce.
So I'm really into Rocket League.
Oh,
The
yeah.
reason why it is the most in-depth tool I have ever used. League of Legends is cool too. Even though I don't play League, the amount of stuff you can do is actually pretty cool. Valorant, I say is fun, but is very limiting on what you can do. But Rocket League's easily my favorite. I have programmed macros and stuff for camera position. So basically, if I want to go to like corner of field, button press, easy, like super easy setup, and it's all like free, super like mods to help with everything. It's honestly like one of my favorite games, and like I've done the most research in the Rocket League and stuff to get all that stuff working and everything. So that's one of my favorite things to ever free cam. But I love free camming like every single game here. That's what I usually come in here and do.
Yeah, you always find the hidden Easter eggs in Valorant.
the tack the bears.
Those are my favorite moments of all the streams when I get to look at the straight up cults that are honestly happening in Valorant, especially on Lotus. They are just cults.
Yeah, actually, no. I'm gonna say this. I hate Overwatch and I hate King's Row. Why do you guys play it so much?
Kings is great.
I don't know, man.
It's so bad to
Oh,
spectate.
yeah, because it's so closed off.
Yeah, you can only go from like one angle above.
And the thing is Overwatch doesn't allow you to fly through things.
Yeah.
You're a player entity
Oh, yeah,
as a
you're
camera.
right. Yeah.
So you're stopped by walls, ceilings, and everything. It's awful. Every single time. The players know it. I always am like, why?
Yeah.
Why is it King's Row? It is. The map's awful. I'm so glad I don't have to do that one again. That's one thing I'm glad I don't have to do is King's Row.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for you. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Carlos,
so
for your
much,
time.
Carlos, for
Ball State
everything.
Esports will 100% miss you.
Yes.
You've been such
I'll
a
miss
crazy
the
impact.
program. That's
Yeah.
100% sure.
You've had a crazy impact on this program. And of course, guys, that was our executive producer, Carlos, aka Bimity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our last Overwatch stream of this semester. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, not just for today, but for the entirety of the semester and last semester as well, to see me and Ada and all of our other amazing casters cast. And thanks to everybody that works in the back room, from our VDs to our observers to our spectators. Everybody is super well appreciated here. But no more further delay. That will be it for this stream. I will see you guys next time. Is not next time on Overwatch, but I'm assuming I'll probably have another stream later on in the semester. But I will see you guys then. And for now, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.